This podcast is brought to you by the Arte Media Pantheon. Please head to artemedia.org to see all kinds of podcasts from our great friends. And if you would like to start your own podcast, that can provide you with the tools and resources to do so there. So please head to artemedia.org. That's ARETE media.org. Jordan, I totally nailed the intro on the first go.
Yes, you did.
I absolutely did. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. It's the Spur of the Moment podcast. I'm your host. I'm Justin. I'm joined as always by a very comparable Jordan. He's comparable today.
Howdy, folks.
He's here. He's also here. Go away.
I've shown up.
He's shown up. He came into work today.
It was the most I could do.
Why is that not going away? Sorry. Go away. Why must you do this? Sorry, people. I just have to fix something real quick.
Never be sorry.
Show meeting timer. Keep controls. Keep meeting. No, don't keep meeting controls visible. Why do you always do that? Go away. Okay. Go away. Thank you. See, I actually forget I had to do that this time. Sorry, people. Welcome to the Further One podcast. That was a brief diversion that Spotify, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to listen to me do that. I had to fix something. Now you know. On today's show, we have news. We have news the likes of which that you never knew that you didn't know, including there's a Family Guy spinoff.
Another one?
Yeah, another one, a new one. Malcolm in the Middle. Catherine Hahn. We got a trailer from Gaten Mazzarato and that guy from the Goldbergs. It was very unsurprising, but also surprising. K-pop Demon Hunters announcement. What do the Avatar people look like, and what does the audience think about that? And the Harvey Weinstein news for some reason, and then it's our Oscar special. We're going to talk about some Oscars, not just this year's, but years previous. And Jordan, for the audience live, he will predict the Oscars based purely on what I tell him. So
I'll certainly try.
So Jordan will tell the audience what he thinks should win the Oscars this year. Well, certainly Best Picture, and maybe a couple of the other ones, based solely on what I tell you today.
He'll certainly try.
And also one of the categories he actually did see all of the movies in, so he's actually gonna predict it. The other two don't count. It's a three-way game. The two French movies. Let's see if we're just gonna put this. The foreign films don't stand a chance against the money-making ones. So the two random French animated movies don't stand a chance. We're not gonna pretend that they do. It's a three-way race between Zootopia, K-pop Demon Hunters, and Elio. And we're gonna get there. And then I'm gonna make this announcement now. Because Jordan's only at half mast today. We were gonna do our special 400th person special, but I was kind of iffy on it anyway. I kind of wanted to save it for our finale anyway because I just think there's more pageantry there. So next week, at the end of the podcast, we will be eating spicy shit because you got us all to 400. Jordan, do a double thumbs up with me now. Exactly. That happens next week. But John, I wanted to start.
It's disappointing too because I genuinely I feel like the sauce that I have will actually be good this time.
I know. Who knows?
I've kind of weirdly been looking forward to it.
Maybe if by the end of today, Jordan feels better. Maybe if throughout the show his stomach starts to feel better, we'll let him make the call if we push it till next week or not. So
we'll see.
He will have all of the power for once instead of just none of it like usual.
We'll see.
We'll see. Probably next week. It's probably going to be next week, and we're going to probably see if some friends want to come stop by and watch us torture ourselves for your entertainment. So that's next week. But I wanted to start off today, Jordan, like we often do, we occasionally do. Some comment response time, Jordan. I wanted to respond to a couple of comments, including one that I felt was really generous and very kind. It was kind of a roller coaster in terms of comments. So I'm stalling while I bring up the comments.
I mean, I know there was the one Kingdom Hearts one.
That was fun.
Which I actually responded to.
Yes, that was funny. Let's start from the top. Talking about Ready to Rumble. Is the person says that is genuinely the greatest movie involving wrestlers, and he loves that movie a lot. And I responded with, "What are your top 5 wrestling movies?" I will get back to you if he answers me. They answer me. My glasses are dirty. Next comment was on the Avatar live action disaster. How bad was it? The person responded, so basically it's the worst in literally every way possible.
Yes, yes, it
And
is.
I responded with, certainly in every measurable way. Um, we got a response on
Yes,
our why
yes, it
Zilla,
is.
why Zilla isn't the king of the monsters. Someone responded, Godzilla 1998 is a good movie. Is a good movie. It's an awful Godzilla movie. But name this nuclear lizard kaiju or something like that, not Godzilla, and it would be remembered more fondly, which we agree with.
Yeah, that's basically what we said.
Yeah, I also agree with that. Um, Person on my video about Jerry Seinfeld said that the people who find his sense of humor funny are usually smug assholes, which yeah, that's accurate. Um, Apparently, oh yeah, in regards to the Mighty Ducks being the NHL team being named after the movie. Someone left a comment that says in the third movie, Charlie Conway actually brings this up while hitting on a girl. You never heard of the Mighty Ducks? The NHL team named after us. Which I responded with, "There's a third movie?
No, yeah, we knew there was a third one. I
Did
mentioned
we?
that last time. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember there being a third
Uh,
movie. I know
I
there's a show.
I mentioned how there was a third one,
Uh,
D3 or whatever it's called.
is it
But
actually
yeah,
called D3? That's funny. I
I
completely
think
forgot about
so,
that.
something like that anyway.
That is even lazier than D2. Um, yeah, so we got several responses to the video about the talking about how the T-Rex was the size of the turkey, which people pointed out that I was hysterically and embarrassingly wrong about. One person responded, "Did you just say that a T-Rex was the size of a turkey?" LMAO, bro, have you ever been to a museum? And I got the dinosaur wrong. It's the Velociraptor. The Velociraptor is not as big or doesn't look anything like it does in the Jurassic Park movies. It's the one that was roughly the size of a turkey. Um, a person says, another person responded, "You're thinking of a Velociraptor," which is what I was thinking of. And they said the turkey size, if I'm thinking of Velociraptor, is accurate. But like a T Rex would be like this, a baby T Rex or a juvenile T Rex would have been the size of a turkey. But otherwise, that Jurassic Park pretty much nailed them in adult size. Um, and then the initial person commented, I was like, because I was like, oh, that's kind of a mean comment, but they responded with, you were definitely, I definitely had the wrong dinosaur to be fair, but we have no idea what was out there 65 million years ago, let alone 200 million years ago. We
It's
only know
true.
from the fossils that actually survived. So to my credit, to your credit is what he said, but to my credit, there are very well could have been turkey-sized T-Rex species. And I said that was very generous of them to say because I was very wrong. So that was very kind of you that was JL
Just
Bill.
threw you a bone.
Yeah, right. Be like, oh, to be fair to you, and I was like, no, 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 you didn't have to do that. That
Well, I mean, they are not wrong. There could have been.
there
We
could
have
have
no
been, there
idea.
could have been. That's absolutely true. Then yes, Jordan, you already referenced this. There's a comment that says, "Did I come across two grown men complaining about a Winnie the Pooh character?" First bit, yes, you did. We're aware that was ridiculous. That was part of a much longer bit where I went, "I'm not the target demographic for Winnie the Pooh, and we will no longer be talking about Winnie the Pooh." So, like, you're correct in the sense that we're two grown men talking about Winnie the Pooh. That is of an inherent wrongness. So you're right there. But
I
in
mean,
to
yes and
clarify,
no.
to clarify, in that moment, we are very much making fun of the voice acting performance of a child in a video game, and like that in and of itself is probably also wrong. But it's a really dumb voice. It's really
Well,
dumb.
yeah, I mean, there's also just the fact that Kingdom Hearts isn't specifically for kids. Kingdom Hearts, I would say, is for teenagers and stuff as well.
Yeah,
So that
we're still
to
two
me
grown
doesn't
adults though talking about a
doesn't
child
doesn't
character.
disclude us from talking of no, but when it came out, I
I know,
was the correct
but
age.
also like we never complained once
So
about the actual
that
character,
joke that well, that's because it's a bit.
right? It's
That
a
joke
joke.
that
I
we're
know it's a
making
bit.
is a reference to a joke from another thing that we did, like or like a comment that we made or something like that. Like it's not like meant in good.
Oh, it's an inside joke because you said it while you were playing it once, and I died, and I
Yeah,
die every time you make that reference. It's more of a
yeah.
joke for us, but no, yeah, we never said that character is bad. I've never seen that movie, and I never will. So like, I
No,
can't say as to whether or not that character is bad. It's just the voice is bad.
it's just the voice stands. I wouldn't even say that it's necessary. I mean, I would say that it's
It's bad.
bad,
It's
but
bad.
in
It's bad.
Kingdom Hearts 3, if I'm being generous, I would mostly say it stands out because he's like the only one who's actually a kid.
Yeah, it's peculiar because everyone else is a professional voice actor, and he's not for some reason, and I cannot find out why. I
Yeah,
tried googling it once, but he literally is not the original voice of that character. That character doesn't have a weird Cockney British accent in the movie that it's from. It doesn't sound anything like that. I googled it once because I was fascinated. I couldn't find any information. The only thing I could find is like an anime news network page that happened to have his name on it. That was it. So I'm like, I guess maybe just a producer of the game was like, "Hey, son," or I guess maybe daughter, would you like to come be a character in Winnie the Pooh for an afternoon? And they were
yeah,
like, sure.
could be.
That was it. That was so. Yes, we are self aware enough to know that we were talking about Winnie the Pooh characters. But you should have seen it. We once talked about My Little Pony.
We've talked about a lot of weird
What are you
things.
gonna do about it? Not watch my video? Ouch. That hurt. Kind of.
There's 400 other people on subscribed to our channel who might watch
Jordan,
that.
401.
No. I assume that the person commenting was that one.
Oh, that's fair. No, that's fair. No, that's quite fair. Jordan, I thought since we did this isn't a new. Okay, actually, let's Jordan news theme. Oh, Jordan, this isn't news, but I'm going to include it as part of the news segment. But it's not really news. But I figured since last week we talked about the Razzies, and a couple of us on this podcast had a couple from this year. I figured you'd be curious, and the audience would be curious. Who won, or I guess lost, as it were, as the case may be.
The audience. The audience
Other,
lost.
other than the audience, who won these air quotes awards, as it were? So Jordan, worst picture was, and I called this World of the Worlds 2025. It was not Snow White, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Jordan. That doesn't surprise me because I'm gonna say for the people or in the inevitable case person who I know. No, sorry, Haley. I'm joshing. But to the people I know who are gonna be like, no, that definitely deserved it. Stuff happens in that movie. It's like if that movie was entirely Snow White on a Zoom call. The music may not be great, but it has music and dancing and whimsy. So like, it's making the effort. Half of the people.
The barest amount of effort, but still.
Right, it's getting there, right? It's still doing effort. Worst actor is Ice Cube in War of the Worlds. Worst actress is Rebel Wilson, which is fair. She's usually the worst actress in anything she's in. The rest of these don't really matter. Up until worst supporting actress, you don't know her and you've never seen the movie she's in. Worst supporting actor though was all seven dwarves in the Snow White movie. I don't know what I'm curious as to what I could not be bothered to Google what the Razzie Redeemer Award was. Your worst on-screen combo, of course, is also all seven artificial dwarves from the Snow White remake. Worst
Sounds
prequel,
accurate,
right? And fair, I feel, and warranted,
yeah.
if I'm being honest, entirely warranted. And then worst director and worst screenplay are War of the Worlds, respectively, which makes sense. That movie's garbage, and that's it. That's the Razzies. War of the Worlds came away, more or less sweeping the awards this year. And as a person who watched that movie, yeah, bad, not good, Jordan. Fair,
I understand.
warranted. So how do you feel about the Razzies this year, Jordan?
Word 7893 says, "What's up, guys? When is Oscars?"
Not yet. We're gonna not till later. We're gonna do some news first, and then we're gonna talk about all the Best Picture nominees at some point in the next couple hours. Hang out if you want. First news
As
item.
well as some of the animation.
Yes. well, some of the older Oscars, but we're gonna talk about all. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about.
No, I mean, two
Oh
of my
yes, we're
things
also gonna
are
talk about best
animation from
animated.
this
Yes,
year.
yes, yes. Sorry, yes. We're gonna talk about some of the best animated nominees as well, and we're gonna probably talk about some of the ones we've already talked about in relation to the ones we're gonna talk. If that makes sense. That makes sense.
Tangentially.
Yeah, exactly. Let's start with. Hey, Jordan.
Word 7893 says War of the Worlds Amazon sucks.
It was bad. It was so bad. It was like upset. Like the big climax involves an Amazon delivery drone. It like they one of the things is they order
It's
something
so
off of
sad.
Amazon Prime. It's the worst thing ever. Like yeah, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is not very good. Don't get me wrong. I still don't think it's the worst one of those movies. And at least stuff happens in that movie. It was uniquely fascinating kind of garbage movie that you're like, who no one who made this could possibly be proud of this, right? Like it's that kind of bad movie. Jordan, I love coming back to a story that we initially broke. We didn't break this, but we were one of the first. I saw we were one of the first people to talk about this, and that was that Catherine Hahn was rumored to be Mother Gothel in Tangled, and now she's confirmed. And
Yeah, I had seen that and I was like, oh,
I'm
good
not
for
gonna
her.
lie, it does not make me more enthusiastic for that movie,
No, not really.
but it makes me go, I'd watch it on Disney Plus. I'd actually make effort if it was like a Saturday afternoon. I had nothing interesting or otherwise to do. I'd watch for content. Actually, more than now that I'm thinking about it, I'd watch for content.
Uh, Words says, and I thought Anaconda was bad. Having Ice Cube yell at a webcam for 90 minutes was the worst idea.
Again, if maybe that movie came out in 2020 when everyone was doing stuff on Zoom, it would be excusable. It's sort of like I was going to do The Bubble, and that suffers from it. I'm going to say this again. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. Anything. Look, it's not these movies' fault, but if anything that's made with a COVID bend, which this is, like large part of that movie involves what is ostensibly QAnon. It's just a bunch of shit that was like, oh, this was popular in 2020, 2021, not in 2025. We've all moved past that bullshit. Yeah, Catherine Hahn. It's one of those things where I'd watch. It makes me more interested. Good casting will make me excited, and I'm more excited for that than I am the Moana one, as an example.
I, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, to me, it just comes down to the Rapunzel one is less egregious, more excusable, because Rapunzel came out further away than Moana did.
That's fair.
Well,
Yeah.
Moana is too soon for a live action
And
remake.
I don't know. I like Agatha. I wasn't really all that excited by the Rapunzel and Flynn casting. Although now that I've seen him, I am kind of excited by him. I like his energy. I haven't really seen anything with her, but I really like Catherine Hahn. I really like Agatha, and I just think that I could see her doing a snarky version of Mother's Knows Best. Like I just don't think everyone's like, oh, she's not there vocally. I still disagree. I still don't think that matters with that character. I think that character is 90% attitude, and I think she has that attitude.
Yeah, I also think that not knowing when this actually comes out, vocal coaches are a thing. They could theoretically get her up to
True, true.
scratch.
That is absolutely true. I mean, she worked with Patty LuPone, and she sounded good. Patty LuPone's a Broadway legend, so if she sounds okay next to Patty LuPone, you could get her up to snuff. So Jordan, this legit surprised me. This spinoff, 2-season order at Fox. It's a Family Guy spinoff. So I don't know how do I want to do this. Do I want to make you guess the character that's getting spun off? You haven't heard this yet, right?
No.
No. We'll do both. Which character do you think is getting spun off?
Hmm. Well, I this feels like a weird one, but my first instinct is either Brian or Stewie.
Interesting choice. Now, I'm going to answer your question with another question. I'm going to tell you with asking you another question. You know how people watch Family Guy and they go, "Why don't they just take the Stewie and Brian episodes and just make them their own show?"
Yeah.
They did, but without Brian. So
Oh, so it's
it's
Stewie.
a Stewie spinoff. Yeah, so it's The premise of
Interesting.
it is Stewie is going to a new preschool, and it's all the weird science fiction stuff that he does. So it's basically described as being a magic school bus, where like with his tech and his technology, they go on various misadventures and what have you.
I mean, that
And
sounds fun.
that does sound fun. It was funny to me that they went, yeah, you know how everyone's like, yeah, you know those Brian Stewie episodes. What if they just did that and cut out all the other characters? But like people are like, oh, this is dumb. Why would you give a major character on the show a spin-off? And like, I don't, I could be wrong. I think it's because everyone's going to like, um, Cleveland's show, and Cleveland gets written off the show and go lives in Virginia for 2 years, and it isn't on Family Guy anymore. And the
Yeah.
show goes out of its way to explain that. I think people are expecting that, and I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I think that Stewie will still be on the regular Family Guy show, and then daycare is during the day.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could see it being a thing where like the way that the episode sometimes ends is Lois dropping him off and picking him up, and
Yeah,
like the other characters will be there, but they're not the focus kind of
exactly.
thing.
Like you introduce the concept of the daycare in a backdoor pilot esque fashion on Family Guy. You do a backdoor pilot episode, which is probably what they're gonna do. And then
And
yeah,
then
he'll
that way you can have an episode where like the daycare teacher is out and Brian has to look
yeah.
after the class.
He's the baby. He's not moving away. Like they're not gonna write
No.
Stewie off a Family Guy.
I
That's
mean,
not
not
how
unless
that
they aged him up and put him in a boarding school.
right. And then at that point, yeah, you're right. It's gonna be a thing where certainly the Seth MacFarlane Family Guy characters you'll see. Like you'll see
Yeah.
Brian and you'll see Peter and you'll see Quagmire. Certainly you'll see Brian. You'll definitely see Brian.
There's no
Um,
way you won't see Brian
but
in
it was
some
weird. Like
capacity.
the internet took such a downturn on it that was surprising to me. I was like, really, like Seth MacFarlane's on such a hot streak right now. Like the internet loves Ted. Like the internet especially Ted season two. And
Yeah,
granted,
well, that's why people are probably upset with this is because they probably realize that Ted got canceled for
I've
this.
seen people be like Ted that the show should retcon the movies so that he doesn't grow up into Mark Wahlberg.
I mean, I saw a clip where they reference like, "What's the one thing you want to do?"
I want to
And
get
the
super
guy goes
unreasonably
to,
jacked.
and then it ends with him going to the gym.
Yeah, there's a couple
That
of
made
clips
me
I've seen for
laugh.
season two that I'm like, this is funny. This is good. This is funny shit.
Yeah,
It's funny because a lot of people are like, it's made a lot of people realize that yes, Seth MacFarlane doesn't write Family Guy, but he does write this, and you can notice like this. Oh, this is very season one Family Guy esque. Yeah, it's because Seth MacFarlane is writing it, and people are like, oh, it's brilliant how there's no cutaways, except for that show does have cutaways. It's just they're more organic. Like American Dad, people don't realize is American Dad had cutaways when that show started.
yeah, but they quickly went away.
Right, but they still kind of do them. They're just more organic and they're happening in universe as opposed to cutting away from a separate scene. But they still have the vibe of basically being like when the one that keeps popping up, anything from Steve, like Steve singing the male song is pretty much a cutaway.
Or Jeff, anything with
Yeah,
Jeff.
yeah, that's pretty much a
Like
cutaway.
when Jeff is going down the hallway and Roger keeps mugging him.
Yeah,
That's essentially a
that's
cutaway.
essentially a cutaway. Yeah, exactly. I saw someone say though that I can't remember who they were comparing them to. It might have been a Family Guy character, but they were like Jeff Fisher is kind of one of the most brilliant characters because they actually care about him. That's the thing about family American Dad and Family Guy. Family Guy is a little worse for us, but American Dad has always been about we can have a standing continuity like The Simpsons does, so long as we um, make occasional slight adjustments, and their slight adjustments are always brilliant. Like one of my favorite characters on that show is Rogu, like who is
Yeah.
a very late addition. Or yeah, Jeff's just gone for like multiple like a whole entire season almost, and then they bring him back and they do that episode with him in space, and it's brilliant. And you're like, this is one of their best episodes, and it doesn't involve any of the family because you put in the time to make this character like interesting,
Likable.
yeah, and likable. I'm trying to think. To be fair, Simpsons is kind of catching up to that because, like, in a recent episode, they went through a thing where lots of little things with the Simpsons, but like stuff like Mo is engaged. A comic book guy. I turned on an episode randomly, and it was about comic book guy's wife, and I was like, that's strange. Or like there's a more recent episode where Patty and Selma basically break up.
Yeah, I remember reading something about that, about how one of them is like aligning with Bart and one of
Yeah,
them is aligning with
with
Lisa or
Lisa,
something.
yeah, and one of them gets a haircut, so they have different hairstyles now, and they've hinted that it's going to be permanent, like more or less permanent. So, and they no longer live together. Patty lives in a completely different apartment now.
Hmm.
But
Neat.
yeah, to me that's the way you do it. It's like you do incremental small things, and then you still keep most of that standing continuity in order, and then it keeps the show interesting. Speaking of keeping the show interesting, Jordan, new trailer for Malcolm in the Middle. Life is still unfair,
Yeah, that
and
looks good.
this still looks good. Yeah, there's a lot of
I
fun.
like how they start off with a reference to the very first episode
Yeah,
of Hal getting shaved.
yeah, that was funny. There's a couple of references like Reese going. I've now since realized that Reese whispering to Hal as he sleeps. Reese seems like the good one now. That's a reference to the episode where they realize that he's influenced when he's sleeping, and they influence him into
Oh,
doing
I forgot about that.
Also, I think I said in my previous reaction to the previous trailer, I said that him and Francis and Piama got divorced. I was so wrong. She's in the series finale. I don't know what I was talking about. I saw
Well, at least you can acknowledge you were
I
wrong.
was so wrong. Yeah, there's a clip. I saw a clip of the bit where. Have you finished that show yet?
Not yet,
Not
no.
yet. But
I,
you've seen the ending
I
before, yeah.
finished. I've seen the ending
Yeah.
before a long time ago, but
Um,
it's been a while.
but yeah, it's the bit where Reese's shit covers them, and she's there in the background,
Oh
covered in
yeah.
shit. Yeah. I was like, oh okay, yeah. No,
Um,
I was very wrong. I was very wrong about
one
that.
thing, one thing that I thought was interesting is, and this it might not be anything, but it could be something. Is when they say how he has the daughter and that's his girlfriend,
Yeah.
and to me that leaves the possibility open of that the girlfriend is not the mother, and
No.
some other character, perhaps one that we will remember from somewhere in the show,
Maybe.
is the mother.
It's
Because
possible.
having seen the watched more of the early seasons of the show, um with the Krellborns and stuff, the Cynthia or whatever,
Yeah.
they just, as a
She
I
just
just
kind
feels
of
weird to
leaves the show.
she just disappears, but
Yeah.
like
It just kind of
they really
disappears.
have in terms of the show, they really kind of set up the vibe like they're good together.
Yeah, they do.
Like she
They set up something that's gonna be a long term back
like
and
she
forth.
balances out his
Yeah,
neuroticism
and
kind
then
of
she
thing,
just kind of disappears.
and then she just disappears.
Yeah, they do
So
the.
like I think it would be a fun reference if they don't have to have the actress come back or anything, but if you find out that the mother of his daughter is her,
That'd be kind of fun. That would be kind of fun.
I think that would be a fun
Yeah, I can't
reference.
remember. Do they? I know. Oh, it sounds so bad. They do the really weird episode where they're like, she's got boobs now, and then I'm pretty sure she never comes back after that. Or does she come back one more time? No, she might come back one more
I
time
think I think she comes back one more time,
because
but
they do the.
I don't
I
remember.
if you do this, I'll never have sex with you again, Malcolm. That's after that she's got boobs
That's
now or
after.
something.
Yeah, that's after.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I do. I love it when I guess it's like doing this enough, but I love that they've taken the Reese is a bad influence.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm curious as to where he is in his life. It looks like maybe he's a mechanic of some sort. I don't love the concept that he just froze in place and is the same character. Like I like for him to have seen a little bit of movement. I
Looks like Francis has stayed at the ranch.
did he go back to did he go back to the ranch? Because
Well, there's a scene where there's something, my addled brain isn't remembering properly right now, but in the trailer, I remember seeing something with a horse.
oh, okay, interesting. Because by the end of the because there's that whole plot line where there's a bunch of episodes later in the last season where it's like him and Dewey, and he got fired and he's unemployed, and Hal and Lois keep yelling at him for being unemployed, and like you never see Otto again. Like he never comes back, and there's never. It's implied that he got fired. So I'm hoping that they fix that, they retcon that, because
Yeah.
to
I
my
haven't
knowledge, they
gotten
basically
I
character assassinate Francis in the last quarter portion of that show because they didn't know what to do with him. They're like, well, we can't have him be a stable adult, even though that would be really funny and ironic.
um either way, the show looks fun.
It does look fun. Yeah, the funniest episode, the funniest bit, one of my favorite episodes of that show is when they come stay with him at the ranch, and
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 he's the functional
yeah,
adult.
he now has to be mom, and he's like, no, I get it, we're the worst. Like I love that episode. I wish they had kept with that of him slowly becoming Lois, and I think that would be fine. I don't know if he's gonna, but it would be funny if he had kids and they were like Malcolm in them, and that would, to me,
I
that
don't
would be
I
funny.
don't know that I want him to fully become Lois because I what I liked about that episode is in it Malcolm and Reese and Dewey they like trick him or not trick him but convince him into doing the fireworks stuff and like it cuts to him and he's got the stuff in his hands and he's like, oh, well, I guess we're doing this. So like I'd like it if like whenever the family is not around, he's stable and
Yeah,
functional
yeah,
and
yeah,
normal. And like that leads into the Malcolm as the same way,
yeah, exactly.
where like when they're apart, they're function and I would like that with Reese as well.
Yeah,
Where like he's functional until he gets back until they all kind of are together.
yeah,
And
exactly.
it's
Yeah, that as a
when they're
theme, it's just an
together,
interesting
they
theme.
yeah, when they're together, they go crazy
Exactly. I'm completely.
because there's too much of Hal's DNA all in one place.
I
Because that's what they kind of set up in the show is that it mostly comes from Hal.
I would argue, I don't know, I would argue it's a toxic concoction of the both of them, because there are episodes where she's just as chaotic as the rest of them, where she's getting revenge,
Yeah,
or
but she's usually chaotic because they've kind of pushed her into
but
it.
it's implied that um, she's also smart, like she's as smart as
Yeah.
Malcolm. Which I like that bit, which is like, oh, I did a dissertation on that in college, and he's like, what? Um, So it's funny. This trailer I sent you, Jordan. I love the title of this article, which is Stranger Things. Gaten Matarazzo gets, quote, uncomfortably high in Hulu's pizza movie trailer, which I absolutely
I thought that trailer looked
I want to
fun.
watch it so bad. It looks so good. But I saw a comment on the YouTube video for it where someone was like, "It's like they took that bit from 21 Jump Street and made it into an entire movie."
Oh, yeah. I mean, kind of. It also just kind of reminds me of like
I thought that was
early
funny.
2000s stoner comedy.
I mean, the octopus that they get sucked into looks like a Rick and Morty character.
Either way, it looks like a lot of fun,
It
and I'll
does. It
probably
looks
watch
really.
that.
What? The minute you say it's on Disney Plus and Hulu, I'm like, I have no reason not to.
But yeah, I more meant like I could maybe be talked into watching it in theaters.
It does not look like it's going to
Depending.
theaters.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's purely a Hulu Disney Plus joint,
Well, then yeah, then I definitely have no reason not to watch it.
right? Jordan, in the least surprising news ever, Jordan, put on your not surprised face. They're making K-pop Demon Hunters 2, Jordan.
What? No. What? That's madness. What? How could
The
they?
fact that they had to come out and confirm this very obvious thing. Apparently, the creative team's returning. That was really funny. I saw a clip where they were interviewing the person who does the music, and she was EJ, I think her name is, and she was like, they were like, "Are you coming back for the second one?" And she's like, "I should hope so."
Ooh.
Um, yeah, I'm excited for that. We're gonna talk about why we're excited for that later. Put a pin in that. Interesting. Yeah, see, this is what I don't know if I said this when we were talking about Green Lantern, bad Green Lantern show, true Detective Lantern show. I,
Not Green Lantern show.
I saw someone. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I saw someone who posted a video that was they had edited into generic cop show, which there was like generic HBO cop show.
Wouldn't have
Um,
taken much editing.
and that was the title. I didn't get a chance to watch it to see how much they had edited. Um, but apparently, the guy who's playing Jon Stewart in that show is going to be in the next Superman movie. And that frustrates me because it's like, I don't know if I said this last week when I was talking about Nathan Fillion is supposed to be in that Green Lantern show. And it's like, but he's silly. Like, I can't remember if I ended up saying this last week or not, but I guess I'll say it now. That we've talked about this before. I can't stand it. And I have the same issue with the Marvel shit too. It's so distracting and tonally inconsistent. Yeah, when you're like in one movie, you've got spandex Spider-Man swinging through the city, and in Jessica Jones, I'm watching Jessica Jones get plowed. Like, it's just it makes it like tonally inconsistent. So like he's in Lanterns dropping F-bombs and doing violence, and then he goes to Superman, or like Green Lantern is like wearing a bright, colorful, goofy, he's got a goofy bowl haircut, and he looks silly, and he's gonna go.
It wouldn't bother me as much if in the Superman movie they kept having it be where like he goes to curse, or like he you know what I mean, like he goes to say a swear word and someone cuts him off. So like if they had started the idea of, oh, he swears like a sailor and the only reason he's not is because like he's getting cut off,
but even just
then it would be slightly less distracting.
But even just his costume and his haircut and his entire aesthetic is so bright and colorful. You're telling me he's gonna go be on a dark and gritty HBO True Detective style detective show? It's incoherent. It drives me crazy. It's so inconsistent in terms of tone and aesthetic. Like,
yeah, but that character is supposed to be a loser, so
no. But what I'm saying is like his character doesn't, as he is presented, Superman does not fit. It would be like taking Iron Man and putting him in the Dark Knight. It just doesn't fit. Like, say what you will about those early MCU movies, they at least aesthetically fit each other. Like, you could believe that they're all in the same universe, but I don't believe that these are in the same universe, and it's just distracting, and it pulls me out of it.
That's fair. I understand.
I know you would.
I don't inherently disagree. That show looks like garbage.
I knew you wouldn't. But also, like, I like Superman, and I'm excited for that new Superman show. So, a new Superman movie, I mean. More Superman movies. So you sent me these, Jordan. You sent me these as well. And this was, new Avatar movies adult Aang photos. Has the same reaction from fans. And Jordan, what do you think the reaction from fans is?
Nope.
What do you
think? It's either they think that it's dope or they're complaining that it doesn't look like it does from Korra.
No. Okay, maybe. What do you think their second reaction was?
Why didn't we get this in Korra?
You're halfway there. It's, oh my god, I'm so excited. Boy, would I like to watch this in a movie theater.
Yeah. I would too.
Right? This looks sick. I would love to watch this in a movie theater. I'd love to go spend my adult money and go watch this in a... Dang it!
And support this thing.
Shoot. I forgot a trailer that I meant to send you. Dang it. That's okay. I'll just have to tell you about it. Jordan, so they're doing a reboot of this beloved childhood show that we love. They're doing a reboot of Darkwing Duck.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I heard how they're gonna have Jim Cummings come back and be Darkwing again.
According to him, they've recorded a bunch of it, and it's going to be produced by Seth Rogen for Disney Plus. And my response to that is, we should just let Seth Rogen do every childhood thing from the 90s. Flat out, full stop. I'm not joking. He's nailing it.
He's doing a good job.
He's done a solid job. Let him bring back Goof Troop. Let him bring back Duck Pack.
My one thing with this
Quack
is
Pack.
that Quack Pack, yeah. My one thing with this is that as much as I love Jim Cummings and it's fun that he's coming back, I did like in DuckTales when he ended up being Negaduck.
So I don't think...
I kind of wish they would do that.
I think this is a new separate reboot. I don't think this is gonna, because at one point they were gonna do a.
No, I think it's separate as well.
They had announced a Darkwing Duck spinoff. That was a spinoff of that I don't know if you remember the special they did where all the bad guys come to the real world or whatever in season
Oh
3.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That's technically a backdoor pilot for that show.
Dope.
Yeah, that was, and it was in development, and then they canceled Ducktales, and they insisted they were still making it, and then nothing became of it. I wanted that because I wanted Jim Cummings as Negaduck. Like that would have been sick. That was such an excellent setup for a show, and an excellent setup for a
A
for a bad
Darkwing
guy.
show.
Yeah, that's an excellent setup for a Darkwing show.
Plus,
Although,
it's just a fun reference to the fact that he voiced the original.
right? Apparently, they're doing a tie. Like it's gonna be. They say reboot, but Jim Cummings said that Gosling is an adult now, so it looks like it might be a sequel series, which I'm also okay with. I kind of want them to do. They did a comic book parody of The Dark Knight Returns called The Duck Knight Returns.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That is essentially a parody of The Dark Knight Returns. That would be great. That I would love. They should do that. They should do a special.
Certainly, they could have that be like the first season or something.
Right, right. So John, I meant to send you this trailer and I didn't. And it was we talked about this before. They're making a musical with Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas, and we did all kinds of speculating as to what it could be. And I'm here to disappoint you, Jordan, and tell you it's not nearly as good or as cool as you expect it to be.
Yeah, that sounds like Hollywood.
It's funny. They call it a musical comedy. I don't know that I would call it that. I mean, I guess it kind of is. But basically, it's about how Paul Rudd plays Rick, who is a past his prime wedding singer, and he meets fading boy band star Danny, played by Nick Jonas. The two bond over music in a late night jam session. But when Danny turns one of Rick's songs into a hit that reignites his career, Rick sends out to reclaim the recognition he believes he deserves, even if it means risking everything he cares about. The film is a feel-good story about music, self-respect, friendship, and the price of ambition. And the trailer is just Nick Jonas and Paul Rudd beating each other up a bunch. And it's got kind of a darker kind of tone to it. Like it's not a goofy. It doesn't look like it's like a goofy screwball kind of comedy. So it's not really what I was looking for personally, but yeah,
Yeah, that movie description sounds like Paul Rudd should be played by Zac Efron instead.
I could say that. I think they're going for like really washed up wedding singer. Like I think they're thinking of like 1980s wedding singer, like a. Wait, have you ever
Adam
seen that?
Sandler.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, good. Yeah, Adam Sandler wedding singer. I think that's what they're thinking of. And then Jordan, I don't want to bring attention to this man, but I just
Then don't.
well, it just there were multiple articles on my website about this, and I saw his name, and I was like, why is he saying this? And so I clicked on it. So okay, I've got two articles about disgraced sex pest and sex criminal Harvey Weinstein, and
In
I was like,
2026, I feel like we shouldn't be talking about him.
oh, that's what I'm like. What is happening? So apparently they interviewed him, and they asked him a bunch of shit.
Oh, he's
And
still alive? I thought he was dead.
no, he's still very much alive and in prison. And
Huh.
I just some of the pull quotes from what he said were like one of those like out of context. They sound really funny. So he clarified that he clarified that the difference between
Yes.
basically he said that his their crimes were nothing alike, and I was like, your crimes were pretty much very exactly the same alike. The only arguable difference is that he liked them younger than you did.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah.
And then the other news bit I had about him was he called Peter Jackson the worst, and I just kind of feel like no, not you. I kind of feel like no, you're not the guy.
I don't think you're the
I
guy.
mean,
to
even if
say
he
that.
was, I mean, him and the production of The Hobbit did destroy the New Zealand film industry. So, like, I don't necessarily think he's maybe a great guy, but he had a dispute with Peter Jackson, and I'm just saying historically, he's not in prison for sex crimes, so he's probably not the worst.
Just
as compared
saying.
as compared to you, known sex criminal Harvey Weinstein. Anyway,
Yep.
um,
Yep. 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 Yep.
I just couldn't believe that was there. I was like, why is there 3 pages dedicated to Harvey Weinstein? This is weird. I need to know the context of some of these. And then I figured you would also find it funny. Speaking of disappointing, Jordan, I sent you. These are
Speaking of disappointing, let's talk about my love life. No.
no. Speaking of disappointing, and Jordan, a connection that I'm pretty sure they don't want us to make, but I'm gonna anyway. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hannah Montana anniversary special.
Yeah. Who cares?
Like like the trailer for that was so underwhelming.
You mean the 20 seconds or something that you sent me?
Well, my thing was like okay. To their credit, they've got her in the wig. Give you that. Give you they've got her in the wig, but the them showing her like walking into the closet. Hey man, maybe if you were a kid and you were a girl, you give a shit about the closet. Apparently, the guy who plays Jackson is pissed because he's not included in it, and it looks even more half-hearted than it sounded. It looks so half-hearted. Like it looks exceptionally lame, and like the comments are on the trailer on TikTok at least were like almost gaslighting themselves into like being excited for this. No, guys, it's okay to call it what it is. Lame. It's lame.
Boring.
It's boring. It's not interesting or exciting. They're not bringing again. They're not bringing back any of the cast. People like there's pictures of like her hugging Billy Ray Cyrus. I don't think he's in it. I just think he was there. Like yeah, underwhelming. Not very exciting. Dull. Boring. Boring.
Not for me.
It just I don't. I go back to who is it for then? Because like nobody could possibly be excited by that, right? Nobody could. Again, unless you want to, like I say, gaslight yourself into it.
People who were little kids might be excited for it.
To see her walk through the closet, I get yeah, okay. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not the target demographic, I guess. I honestly don't know. Um. Yeah, I saw this story and it didn't make any sense to me, but apparently there's reports that the guy who plays Stingray and Paul Walter Hauser, he plays Stingray in not Karate Kid, Cobra
Cobra
Kai.
Kai.
He's in conversations. Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense. That makes way more sense. Sorry, it's just I kept seeing this headline of he's gonna be playing Scooby Doo's original owner, and I went
Oh yeah, I saw that, and then I saw someone comment saying
so
it's the
shaggy.
owner. It's the owner. That was my first thought. But then someone in the comments said no, the person that Shaggy got Scooby from.
Yes, that's what this article is saying. He's gonna play the guy, and it says it adds unexpected layers to the franchise's long history. Which, like, unless it's a case of like you're making Scooby a magic dog and he's connected that way, I don't possibly see how the farm that they buy Scooby from could possibly be beyond a 30-second cameo. But all right then, that makes sense now. I understand. Um, yeah. That's an interesting choice. I don't know. I'm like 50-50 split on that. I'm like part of me wants them to just go full Riverdale. Like just go full Riverdale on it.
No.
But the other part of me, I don't know. It's so hard to be like there's one good version of that show and it's the dark version. Like the Mystery Inc. is the best version of that show and it's the darkest version of that show. So like something that's like that is just gonna end up being like Riverdale. Like Scooby Doo is one. I don't think Scooby Doo will ever work in live action. I think you're right. I think there's just certain things that just don't work in live action. I think
That's my opinion. Let's go back to cartoons.
I just think that's probably it. That's probably one of those ones where I just don't think this is suited for live action. I really don't. We're stretching yawn on a stretch on a bend, and that's the news, Jordan. I don't know what he was doing there. Was that? I don't know what that was.
The end of the news.
Oh, I understand. Today's show, as always, brought to you by Go support the animals at Wild Education. They need the help. They need the money. Go follow
Won't
them on.
someone think of the animals?
Go.
Someone needs to think of the
Someone
animals.
they need your support. All those cute little animals. They need your support. So go subscribe to their YouTube channel. Go follow them on Facebook. Go. I've got the GoFundMe. I'm assuming that's still viable. Go support there. But if you want to support us, Jordan, let me ask you this question. Jordan, do you have a quasi successful YouTube channel that you need to produce
Yes.
days
Yes,
and
I
days?
do.
Jordan, did you know that the key to success on YouTube is short form content?
What? That sounds interesting. Tell me more.
Well, Jordan, if you click the link in the description, you can go and use Vizard.ai, and you can put your video into their proprietary AI technology, which will sort through the footage and determine and format the best clips for you to post, and it will give you a rating scale of the virality of that clip. They is a very
What?
useful service.
That's impossible.
Is a very useful service, and you can put out content in like half the time. It's crazy useful, and using the link in our description tells them that we told you to go to them, and it helps us out, and it helps you and your YouTube channel today. So click the link in the description and go check out Vizard.ai.
Do it.
Second half, Jordan.
Do it. Do
So
it.
tonight's the Oscars. You all knew that. You saw the Academy Awards, the most prestigious award show that nobody watches. Oh no, although I cut out a bunch of articles that were basically to the effect of people are watching the Oscars this year, and a lot of them are for some reason. Go figure. They have predictions for high numbers. Now apparently it's not. It's going to be on YouTube, so that's probably why, because nobody watches TV anymore. But the
TV is
Oscars
dead.
has a long and illustrious
History.
history of films. I figure I'll go first today. I won't go first because then we can. I will go first because then we can end on K-pop Demon Hunters.
It's your call, man.
Let's
This is
do
your rodeo.
that. I shall go first for once because for all of mine except for one movie we're all nominated for best picture. They're all nominated for best picture, and various people in it are nominated for best performance pieces. So at the end of the show, if you hang around, we're gonna make bold Oscar predictions. And if you don't want to hang around, that's probably gonna become a YouTube video. So we're gonna make bold Oscar predictions, and then you in the comments can tell us if we were right or wrong. So let's start with one of the first Best Picture nominees of this year, and that's Marty Supreme. And it's funny because I came out and I saw you were watching this animated movie where they were playing table tennis, and you were like, "No, it's just the one scene." I was like, "Oh," because that would have been a weird coincidence because this movie is about a guy who plays table tennis.
Huh.
He is it's based on it's not exactly the guy, but it's based on like a famous table tennis player. And like the first thing about Marty Supreme for me is like much like Pawn's Sacrifice, I just can't get invested in the idea that anyone would be overly invested in table tennis.
Why?
I don't know. Table tennis to me is just like kind of lame. I understand it's an Olympic sport, but just for
It's
whatever
less lame
reason,
than it's less lame than golf.
yeah, but golf is also lame. To me, they're
Yeah,
equally
but
lame.
but table tennis is like watching tennis, but on a table.
I think tennis is also lame. I don't know. It's hard. They're not sports I get overly invested in. I don't know why. People who love table tennis are gonna yell at me. But this is directed by one half of a directing team called the Safdie brothers, and I really liked their movie Uncut Gems, and they're really known for fast, frenetic cinematography where everything is happening super fast, super high energy, super up there. There's like 1,000 cuts a minute, and it's just like everything's just kind of washing over me, and I'm like, I'm not really like the table tennis matches themselves are just not.
Not doing it for you?
I meant to do this at the top. I'm gonna do it now. We know shit about fuck. Like I think I maybe made that clear in the comment response time, but we know shit about fuck. So when I say stuff, know that I'm not the Academy, and it's not my place to say whether or not these should or should not win Oscars or whether or not they're bad or good, because obviously this is the most illustrious award show. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I've done that disclaimer. I think the least interesting part of this movie is the table tennis bits, because the cinematography and the camera work is so fast that like when I'm trying to like by the time I'm like engaged in him playing table tennis, it cuts and it cuts again and it cuts again, and it's just really hard to follow. And I saw some people make the criticism that it's they compared it to Wolf of Wall Street, where like it's a movie about like a white guy who sucks and is shitty, but the world tells him how unbelievably talented he is, and he constantly gets rewarded for being the best guy at the best at whatever. That's what people say this movie is, and I don't think this is that, because spoiler alert, he doesn't win in the end. Like he does, he very very long story, very 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 short. He is a kind of like the table tennis equivalent to the Harlem Globetrotters.
So he's not a real athlete.
Well, I mean, he's a real athlete. Like he's basically doing trick shots on tour, basically, and he wants to be a world champion. And the movie is about him doing shitty things and bad things to make his way to get to Japan to do the championships. And in the end, he beats the guy who beat him previously, but he does not, because he shows up too late, he's unable to go to the world championships. So like he wins the moral spiritual victory, but like it's not as though he goes off and has a career. It goes off and they change their mind and he joins the tournament and becomes a huge, like, you know what I mean? Like sure he gets he receives the moral victory in the situation, but he's not receiving any financial victory. So he didn't, unlike Wolf of Wall Street, where his world falls apart and he comes out the back of it, and now he's a successful public speaker who's rich. Marty Supreme isn't really. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
He's not at the end of it. He's not still high up on the mountain of Zeus, whereas the Wolf of Wall Street, he is still high
I,
up
I
on the
would
mountain of Zeus, even if he got
I
punished.
would certainly make the argument that he is. Yeah, 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 yeah. But again, I could be wrong. But
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, neither of us know anything. I mean, I assume you don't know much about the actual people. You're talking about the movie
yeah,
characters, and
exactly.
yes, at the end of Wolf of Wall Street in particular, he goes to what I would call rich white people jail.
Yeah, and then he
So he's
comes.
still rich
Yeah,
and white at the
yeah.
end of it.
At the end of it, he comes
So
out and he's a successful. I mean, the real world guy's the same way. He came out and he's a successful public speaker now, and he's made millions of dollars doing that. So like, yeah, he's okay. Whereas this guy, he's not, in my argument. But to be fair, maybe the implication is supposed to be that he goes off and becomes a far more successful table tennis player. I don't know, but the number one thing that I think is disqualifying for this movie automatically from being Best Picture, automatically, full stop, is Kevin Leary is a major character in this movie. Mr. Wonderful, bald guy who's on Dragon's Den.
Canadian Donald Trump.
Canadian, yeah, yes, he's not, but yes, that's the best comparison I could think. Yes, um, yes, that guy. He's in this movie, and he is terrible, like
Like,
terrible.
is he acting or is he being
He's
himself?
playing a character, but his acting is so bad. He's just Kevin Leary. Like there's scenes where he's sitting in the like this, and then like you're like, okay, well maybe he's just a cameo. No, he's like a major character. And there's scenes where he's in the back and he's having dialogue. He has this one, oh yeah, I wanted to read it. I wanted to read it to you. Because he's got this final monologue that is one of the worst things I have ever. Hold on. I have ever heard And I wanted to read it, and I wanted to pull it up, and it was just too much work. So hold on, just give me 2 seconds while I just quickly skip to the end here. Give me 2 seconds. It's really bad. I wanted to read it to you. I'm stalling. Stalling. Come on.
You're Stalin? You're Joseph Stalin?
I'm Joseph Stalin. I'm Joseph Stalin.
Oh, I feel tired.
Like, yeah. He winds up with the girl in the end, but that's kind of. He beats the guy, but it's like he doesn't achieve anything at the back of it, other than a moral victory. Sorry.
Is that all you have to say about this one?
Hold on. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. What the fuck? Maybe I'm not gonna find it.
Okay,
Maybe I'm,
three,
maybe I'm not
two,
gonna find it. Hold on.
one. Okay, moving on.
Hold on.
Uh,
Hold on.
so
I'll find it while you talk.
you can circle back to it if you don't have anything else to say.
Just that. I think that Timothy Chalamet is really good. Um, he. Before I make my predictions, I do think he stands the best chance. I don't know. I'm torn between him and what's his face? Uh, What's Michael B. Jordan for best what you call it, best actor. Um,
Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. We'll circle back.
Okay. I'll start with my first rapid fire then. My first one is Jurassic World Rebirth. It was nominated for Best Visual Effects,
I mean,
which
it's
I
so
don't
meaningless to
think
me.
that, yeah, I don't like it's just CG slop.
Yeah, they look like dinosaurs.
No, they don't. That's kind of the point in this movie. Is this movie my biggest issue with this movie, my biggest issue with this movie is so okay, here let me pose it as a question for you. How much of the creature has to be a dinosaur before you stop calling it Jurassic World?
I mean, none of them are technically dinosaurs if you want to make it
No,
that.
but in this one, it's particularly bad because the point is that this island is where InGen, you know how in the first Jurassic World they have the Indomitable Rex. This is the island where InGen put all the creatures that they did experiments on. So literally, none of them are dinosaurs. I think there's like there's the three big ones that they're trying to hunt, which are technically dinosaurs, but like at one point, um, spoiler, there's a what is essentially a combination of a raptor and a pterosaur. So like that's not a dinosaur. That's a genetic abomination.
I mean, they're all.
Even
I
more,
think was considered all genetic abominations.
even more than the genetic abominations that they always are. Like it's one of those like
Ah,
you could look at the other ones and squint and be like, okay, they look like dinosaurs. These ones aren't dinosaurs. They're just monsters. So like one of the ones that they fight or that they end up having to go up against, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called like the D Rex or something like that. But like it, yeah, I almost wish I could bring up a picture. Because it's just so not a dinosaur.
no,
Like even more than any of the other movies, they're so not a dinosaur.
I
Like
can't
they look
remember what did I.
like the T-Rex based one in particular looks more like a xenomorph from Alien.
I just remember that they introduce a family at one point, and then you're just like, who are these people? Like what? And they're
That's
just
yeah, that's not even we haven't even gotten into my issues with the story. Yeah, so we have two sets of people because this was um I believe this was written by the guy who wrote the first Jurassic Park movie.
yes. But for some reason, has chosen
And
to make it a
so
sequel to the other Jurassic World movies. For some reason.
and so but more my point was clearly he was like going back to his old thing where like you have to have the family with the group of people because or like the kids or the this or the that or the um
Clearly.
And so it's just, yeah, there's the Scarlett Johansson, who is like the only character I actually care about, and then there's a family that's with them who I could give two shits about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will say, I will say, and I don't know if this was an intentional reference, um, but so with the family, uh, the oldest daughter's boyfriend has come with them. And so there's contention between him and girlfriend's dad where they don't get along because he's a
Yeah.
stoner
Yeah.
loser. And there's a point where the dad and him are talking, and I don't remember the exact line, but he says something to the effect, the kid, uh, the boyfriend says something to the effect of, I like um, um, I know you look at me, or you look at me and you think I'm just a stoner loser or something like that. And he's like, which is fine because I am. And the dad says to him, people are going to be judging you, or people are going to be making judgments about you, or something to that effect, for like all of your life. You don't need to do it to yourself. They have a line from the second Jurassic Park book, which is it's like one for one.
Huh.
Like it's
Interesting.
like exactly the same, except the big difference is in the book. There's a 13-year-old girl, and there's I think she's like an animal handler or whatever, a big famous one who comes along, ends up showing up, and she basically has the same thing because like the little girl is like, oh, all my teachers and my parents, because you got to remember the book takes place in like the 80s or the 90s or something like that, and so she's like, they all say that like girls can't do this, like such and such thing. And the adult female is like, people are going to be telling you what you can and can't do for your entire life. Don't let them,
Huh.
basically. So
Neat.
and I'm paraphrasing, but it is basically like one for one the same line. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm curious if that was intentional or just a coincidence. But
I
yeah,
don't know.
overall,
I could believe it.
oh,
It's an intentional reference, but also that does. It's also believable. It could be a coincidence.
it's just generic enough that I could believe that it was
Right.
coincidence.
Right.
So overall, I think I have to say this. I I think this is the worst Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah. No.
Even worse than the old Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah. I don't remember well enough to disagree with you, so I'm going to agree with you blindly, having not
Those
remembered.
have those have quote unquote dinosaurs. These have genetic abominations, which like to the point where like in the movie, from what I remember, they called them genetic
I
abominations.
mean, they are genetic abominations. But
Right, but like in all the other ones, they refer to them as dinosaurs.
this is true.
But the things that we see in this movie,
This is
the
true.
movie itself distinguishes that they are not the same. They are monsters.
That is true.
So
I would
at that
argue. I
point,
would argue they are just as genetically similar to each other as the. Just because one cosmetically looks like a dinosaur doesn't make it any less genetically of a monster. But
and the argument is definitely there, but um, I would say give this one a pass.
I would tend to agree. Oh yeah. So um, uh, just to go back to Barty Supreme real quick. So yes, I believe um, what's his name? I just said it. Oh my god, Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary is awful in this. He's bad. It's the performance is bad. The makeup is bad. He's wearing a bad wig. Every scene with him in it is distracting and pulls you out immediately. He's just playing himself, and he's got this horrendous monologue at the end of the movie that I think is disqualifying. Not only from it being nominated for Best Picture, but by association, Timothy Chalamet should be ashamed and also should not win an Oscar because of that. And this is the I'm gonna read both characters. No, sorry. He got it's a monologue, so I think I can get away with just doing one character. But it basically goes, "Let me explain to you. I was born in 1601. I'm a vampire. I've been around forever. I've met many Marty Mausers over the centuries. Some of them crossed me. Some weren't straight. Some weren't honest. And those ones that are still here, you'll go out and win that game. You're gonna be here forever too. You'll never be happy. It's terrible. The dialogue is terrible. It's all terrible. He's terrible. He's awful. That's it. The rest of the movie's good. That was Marty Supreme. That was my last bit for Marty Supreme. Now, my next thing. My next thing. My next thing is pulling it up because I can't remember. Hamnet. Hamnet. Right. Okay. Hamnet. Okay. Hamnet is basically, you watched Walk the Line, right? Yeah, you
Yes.
did. Yeah. It's Walk the Line, but with Shakespeare. Basically, it's in my opinion, like, like almost over the top tragic. Someone called it an Oscar bation fest. I saw one review called it that. It's Oscar baiting just all over the place, but it follows all of the tropes of a basic performer based biopic, whether it's an actor or like a musician or whatever, where like they start off poor, then they find a modicum of success, and that modicum of
And then he does
success,
drugs.
in this case he doesn't do drugs, but once he finds the modicum of success, it pulls him away from his family, so he's neglecting his family so he can be successful, and he realizes that he needs to treat his family better. But like in this case, because we don't, I'm gonna get sloshed for this in the comments, I'm sure, but we don't know a ton about Shakespeare that we can like confirm. A big thing in this movie is they
Feel like
may
that's not true.
like they know some stuff, but like for example, they don't know really what Shakespeare actually looked like. Like there's portraits of him, but they all looked. I googled this because in the movie he is hot and attractive, like really hot, and I'm pretty sure Shakespeare wasn't hot. That was like a defining feature of him, is that he was a schlubby
I
looking
mean,
guy.
sure, but that's artistic liberty.
Um, right. So that's where I was like, well, how much? So there are elements of this movie that are biographical in nature, but it's not really. But it follows the same tropes of such a movie with even less factual basis than a normal biopic would have, I guess. So, but like, it hits a point where there's a point where basically, the play Hamlet, which I also learned they don't know the actual name of. Like it might be Hamlet, it might be Hamnet, nobody knows. Um, but the play Hamlet was inspired but not based off of his son, who died when he was a child of the plague. And it's a lot of like, man, the lesson that we learn from movies is shit sure sucked before we had doctors.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, it did. Or not even before they had doctors, but there was a point where they had doctors, but they didn't have what we now know as common medical
I was gonna say
practices.
modern medicine maybe is a better word. Man, life sure sucked before modern medicine. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
this illness that these children have seems preventable with modern medicine.
I mean it is. Like
Um,
there's a lot of people who died back in the day from the common cold.
and like it's just a big thing I realized
Or
this week.
or and I'm looking at a particular country when I say this, measles.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Sometimes you just bring back communicable illnesses for fun,
Just 'cause.
just cause, just because you can. Um, yeah, the big thing with this was it was I don't find, I'm not a romantic movie kind of person. So there's this long, exceptionally long scenes of them fawning over each other and being in love with each other that take up at least the first 15 to 20 minutes, maybe longer, of the movie, that are really boring. And I think this movie's also like 2.5 hours long, and it's really long. and I realized pretty immediately that these are just not my kind of movies, and I didn't like it, but I can't say I didn't
That
like
it's
it
bad.
exactly. I'm past that point where I can say, oh, I don't like it, therefore it's bad. I don't like it, but it's not bad. It's if you like that kind of
It's not for
movie,
me.
yeah. If you like if you like an actress weeping like over her tragically dead child and just getting like yelling at her husband and in low lighting, sure, yeah, this is gonna be for you. I think she's probably we'll come. Actually, we'll do it now. I think the wife is the best actress in this. I didn't think the husband was. I didn't think Shakespeare himself was particularly. The back half of it is just them doing Hamlet. Like it hits a point where they're just doing a production of Hamlet, but the movie language of it is I'm supposed to be like, oh, this is the first time I'm hearing someone perform Hamlet.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like
But it's
it's his first showing of it.
right, but it's not. I've heard
Yeah.
Hamlet 1,000 times. I've heard these lines. I didn't sign up to do like yeah. I swear like again the last 20ish minutes maybe they're just doing a production of Hamlet, and I'm like I'm not really and
Which maybe you would like more if you didn't have 4 years of them teaching you Shakespeare
right
during high
yeah.
school.
Like there's a point where Shakespeare while writing Hamlet is just saying the monologue from Hamlet, and you're like I've heard other people do this better. Like I'm just it's not. I've heard this is not really. I think the movie wants me to
It's a
be
it's a classic for a reason.
right, and I think the movie wants me to be invested in their relationship and his relationship with his family. And it's not that I'm not, but I'm just not into movies like this. So it just
Yeah.
doesn't do anything for me, and it's not.
Doesn't tickle your giblets.
No, and it's just not compelling enough for me to be like I, I, I can't decide on if I want to do it all at once or if I want it individually. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture, and I don't think it should. I also don't think Marty Supreme is going to win Best Picture, and I don't think it should. We'll do it now, and we'll do a big final version of it. I think the woman who plays his wife. Oh, that was the other thing I learned from this. Shakespeare's wife name was Anne Hathaway, and you're probably wondering, Jordan, is
Who
Anne
was the
Hathaway?
actress?
Yes, she was. She's
Huh.
named after Shakespeare's wife. Yes.
That's kind of cool.
I know. I learned. She got two names. They call her a different name in this movie, but one of her names is Anne Hathaway. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
That's kind of cool.
But the
That's a
actress
nice.
who plays her is yeah, she's. I mean, again, if you think
The only thing that would have made it cooler is if Anne Hathaway was played by Anne
that would
Hathaway.
be pretty rad. That would be pretty fun. But yeah, it's one of those performances where you're like, if you like your Oscar winners weeping and just getting sad and crying, and it being dark and sad, then yeah, it's definitely the picture of an Oscar performance, and I think she stands the best chance of winning it. Well, we're gonna go through each of the categories that I can confidently make a prediction on later, but yeah, I just don't think it's all right. It's not my of the ones I watched this week, not my favorite. That's coming up. That's it.
So
That's Hamnet.
my second rapid fire, it came out in 2012, and it won Best Picture, and that is Argo, which
Argo, fuck
this movie
yourself.
is really good.
This movie's so
Uh,
good. Argo, fuck
Argo,
yourself.
fuck yourself.
Argo, fuck yourself. Yeah, that's
Yeah, this movie is really good. All of the actors, I
they're
think, are
all.
doing a really
It's
solid job.
really tense. It's really tense
Um,
in like the best way possible. Like the
and
cinematography is good, the performances are good, the direction is good.
pardon me. And I'm not gonna go in depth on this angle, but when I picked this, I didn't really think about what was going on in the world at the moment.
Ha! Oh yeah, because this is about them trying to get the people out of Iran.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I could see. Yep. In retrospect, I could see why your perspective might change on that a bit.
Um,
And the best part of that movie is they pretend to be Canadian, which
yeah,
is
yeah. Well,
hilarious.
they're helped by the Canadian
Yeah,
ambassador,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
who is played by that one guy who is on the Orville.
Yes, he's also on Legends of Tomorrow and The Flash.
Yes, yes, he is. He's one half of the fire guy.
He is one half of Firestorm. He is Doctor something. I don't remember his actual
Um,
character's name.
but I mean, this movie just has a
So
lot of
good.
it's a very star-studded
Oh,
cast.
for sure. It's
And
definitely why like John Goodman's in there.
you got Ben
Uh,
Affleck, you got Bryan Cranston, you got John
right.
Goodman, Victor Garber,
Victor Garber.
Tate
Victor Garber.
Donovan.
That's the name. That's his name. Uh,
Just
I mean,
a lot of people that you
I'm
recognize.
a big fan of Alan Arkin. I'm always a fan of Alan Arkin. Alan Arkin's the guy who goes,
Um,
"Go, oh, go fuck yourself."
oh, go fuck yourself.
He's also
Yeah,
in.
no, he's
He's
always enjoyable.
always funny. He's got such a dry
Um,
sense of humor that it's just. He's got that. He's got that like. He's that kind of performer where you could tell he was old when he was young, and he reminds me a lot of Mickey Rooney, like that era of sense of humor.
um, but yeah, this was a 2012 one, and who wrote it?
I know.
Chris Terrio.
I know it's
It's directed by Ben Affleck.
direct. I think he also won for best director as well. I'm pretty sure. Do you have the Wikipedia article open?
I do.
Can you go down and see what other Oscars he got nominated for? I know he got nominated for best
Theoretically,
director. I don't know that he won though.
filming, music,
It would be under reception.
reaction by Iranians,
Yes, it should.
top 10 list,
This it should be under. There should be a reception.
accolades.
Accolades. That's it. That's the one.
Nominated for 7 Academy Awards and won 3. It won Best Picture, it won Best Adapted Screenplay,
Right.
and it won Best Film Editing.
Really, it didn't.
Uh, Affleck was not nominated for Best Director,
Oh, he
and
wasn't.
following the announcement of the nominations, Bradley Cooper, who was nominated for his leading performance in Silver Linings Playbook, declared Ben Affleck got robbed.
Oh, okay, he should
This
have.
this opinion was shared by the ceremony's host Seth MacFarlane, who joked Argo's story is so top secret that its director remains unknown to the Academy.
He should
And by
have.
Quentin Tarantino, whose film
He should have.
Django Unchained was nominated in several
Yeah,
categories.
he should have. He should have. He should have got nominated for best director. Because yeah, solid.
Apparently, there are some historical inaccuracies
Oh yeah, for sure.
in the movie,
For sure there are.
but no, yeah, overall, I enjoyed this
Not a
movie.
bad performance in there. It's it deserved best picture. That was one of those years like that was around the time I sort of started paying attention to the Oscars and I started to I don't do a full Oscar pool because I don't watch enough of the movies to feel good about doing an Oscar pool to make any like calls. But that was like one of the first years I started paying attention to the Oscars and I was rooting for Argo. I was like that was
Um,
like the same year when Daniel Day Lewis got nominated for Lincoln. I was like, you might as well just give it to him now. Just hand him the trophy. He doesn't even need to
yeah.
show up. Just mail him the trophy.
Two things though. Produced by two different Batmen, which I think is funny.
Really?
Produced by Ben Affleck and produced by George Clooney and Grant Heslov, but
George
that's
Clooney
not as
produced
funny.
it? Really? I did not know
Yeah,
George Clooney like produced it, or executive produced.
it just says produced by.
Really? That's bizarre. I wonder why.
Um, but no, I mean, typically for me when it comes to the Oscars is I find most of the ones that get nominated, not all obviously, but
Yeah, they're
most of the ones I find very pretentious.
they're dull. Yes,
Um,
yes. We're gonna get a couple of those today, where it's like, oh my god, it's trying to say something, and I, like, that's where I'm. That's why it's like I feel it's so important to be like, we don't know shit about fuck.
oh no, I'm
Or
not the
fuck
person
about
to talk
shit.
to about.
We don't know
No,
fuck about shit,
it's important to note that these are just my opinions and they don't
right?
reflect any
I'm
knowledge.
I'm not the
I'm
I'm
just a
not the
guy who I'm
guy.
just a guy who watches movies,
Right.
and this was a good movie.
Like, I'm not gonna be the guy to tell you whether or not the theming or the politics or what the movie has to say about a particular
Or
point of
yeah,
view.
yeah, or any of the behind the scenes stuff.
This is purely how I interpret the material. I'm probably wrong. I'm gonna save you typing up the comment you're currently typing. I'm probably wrong. Just
Unless I'm agreeing with the fact that it won and that it should have won, in which case clearly I'm right.
clearly I'm the right one. But even then, sometimes bad movies win Oscars. So that does
That's
happen.
true. That's true.
Or
But
or
this wasn't
or
what this wasn't one of those cases. This
or
was a good one.
sometimes bad movies get nominated for Oscars. They get nominated for not a lot of Oscars. I don't think that's happened this year. I think this year they're mostly good. Like it's hard because it's like I hated this, but I recognize I'm not the guy. So like Is that the
Argo? You
movie's
hated
fault? No,
Argo?
no, no. Of other movies. I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
right where it's like, oh, I
when
like this movie.
when you felt that you
Yeah,
that was the thought.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
okay, yeah,
yeah.
gotcha.
No, I love Argo. This is a movie. Solid. Is that it for Argo? That's it for Argo.
That's it for Argo.
So Jordan, we have rapidly. Okay. There's two different categories for the Oscars this year for me. There's what I think will win, and what is my favorite. And of the Best Picture nominees, this is my favorite. This is the one I enjoyed the most. I wasn't a fan of the ending so much, but I'm gonna have to spoil the ending. So sorry, that's bearing the lead. This is Begonia, starring Emma Stone. Emma Stone, yeah, Emma Stone, starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, who you would know as the captain from that one Black Mirror episode, and the Jack from Breaking Bad,
Jack.
the Nazi guy.
Oh, him. Yeah, 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 yeah.
He is a conservative, not conservative. Well, he's conservative, but not really, because he says he transcends political labels. But he's a conspiracy theory addled nutcase who lives with his cousin, who is autistic. The cousin is my favorite character.
Oh, you mean in the movie, not in real
Yeah,
life.
in the movie, the character is both played by the character is autistic, and he's played by a gentleman who is autistic. He is, and part of the thing was they wanted, like, he apparently got approved by Emma Stone. Like, they wanted someone who had no acting experience and was authentic, and that's what they felt he was. And he's really good. He's got a lot of really funny lines. But the plot of this is they think that the CEO of this high tech, I guess, pharmaceutical company, played by Emma Stone, is an alien, an alien from Andromeda. And they
Oh,
kid
not an alien from down
No, no,
south.
no, like a space alien. And
Got it.
they kidnap her and they keep her in her basement, and they're trying to convince her to take us to your leader, basically. And they want to negotiate because he's doing this because her company is basically doing experiments on her mom, and the mom is dying because of one of the experiments went wrong, and so he wants a cure for her. And the movie basically is like a single location movie. There isn't much plot to it. It's a lot of it is just conversations in and amongst the three characters, and all the performances are standout. Emma Stone is nominated for Best Actress for this, and I liked her a lot in this. I think she's really good. It's hard to describe the characterization she gives this character of being both cold and giving the appearance of empathy, and it just works. She shaved her head for this. She's not wearing a bald cap. She actually shaved her head. I think it's I don't know that I think it's a better performance. I think that the Hamnet girl is probably going to win because there's perhaps more emotion to it. Now that having been said, I'm going to spoil the ending now. She convinces them. Basically, she comes in and in order to get her to let her go, she tries to convince them that she's an alien, and they're not really believing it. So she comes at him with basically like, okay, let's with the you're supposed to think that she's lying, but she says, okay, let me present to you a different alternative version of your conspiracy. We're an alien people from space or whatever. We came to Earth, and the dinosaurs were the dominant creatures on the planet, and we created humans. And humans were violent and awful and terrible. And we've spent the better part of the whatever how many decades trying to self-correct that and fix you guys before you destroy the planet and kill everybody. And these
This
experiments
this
are,
sounds very familiar. I'm pretty sure this was the plot to an Alien movie.
I'm sure it probably was. And so then she tricks him into giving, because the mom is in a coma and receiving IV fluids. She tricks him into putting antifreeze into her IV, and it kills her. and he comes back, and they get into a big confrontation, and she finally convinces him to take her to her office where um blah 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 where he thinks the spaceship is basically, and he takes her there, and I don't quite remember how exactly it happened, but um there everyone realizes that he's kidnapped her, and it turns out that he's wearing a bomb vest, and he wants to go up to the spaceship and blow up the spaceship with his bomb vest, and the bomb vest accidentally goes off and blows him up. And oh yeah, earlier on, during a conversation with the brother who's autistic, she tries to convince him to let her go, based appealing to his emotion or whatever. And he's like, "I'll let you go if you take me with you." And then just kind of out of nowhere, he shoots himself in the head, and it's violent and bloody. And you're like, "Whoa, okay, I don't know why he did that." Like, why did he do that? And Emma Stone's like, "I don't know why he did that." I'm like, I don't know. I've been watching the movie Emma Stone. I also don't know why he did that. Um,
I
and
don't
so
know
then
why he would have done that.
I can't think. There's nothing in the dialogue that would give you any indication as to why he did that. And so then the Jack from Breaking Bad comes back, and he's like, "Well, you killed my brother, basically." Oh no, my cousin. It's his cousin. "You killed my cousin." And she's like, I didn't. Anyway, so then the office bomb explodes. He explodes and he dies. And it looks like she's about to escape. And she doubles back and goes into a closet in her office. And someone's like, "No, you can't go. It's a crime scene, whatever." And she goes into the closet in her office. And it turns out she is an alien.
Oh, snap.
That's the twist. And that they were actually doing experiments in order to save humanity. And the experiments failed. And so it ends with her killing all the humans.
Well, that's a fucking twist.
I know. I was like, oh, that's a twist and a half. I was a little like, oh, I don't know that I love the twist that she is actually an alien the whole time. Like, I don't know that I just think it might have been better if maybe she weren't. But it was really clever, and the performances are good. And I think I had such a bad time with the other ones that I'm like, I think this might be I don't know. There's one other one in here that I also really really liked. That became interesting to me about midway. So I don't think this is gonna win Best Picture. Also, I don't think it's gonna win Best Picture, and I just don't think she's gonna win Best Actress for this. I really don't. I was disappointed that Jesse Plemons didn't get nominated for Best Actor or Best Supporting, because he's really good in this. Or the cousin. The cousin also he's also really good in this as well. I would have been happy with either of them. Yeah, that's Begonia.
Okay.
Begonia. It's just a fun word to say, Jordan. Say the word begonia. It's fun to say.
Begonia.
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 My third rapid fire is called Over the Moon. Came out in 2020, and it was nominated for Best Animated Feature Film.
2020. What was it going up against in 2020?
I don't remember.
2020.
I'd have to look it up. But something Pixar.
2020. Well, you talk. Let's look this up.
But I really liked this movie. But you know how sometimes we'll watch one of these animated ones and we were like, this wanted to be Disney or this wanted to be DreamWorks or like
Oh, interesting.
what?
Finish your thought, and I'll tell you who it was up against.
Um, this felt like one of those where like in another reality, this was a Disney one.
That's believable. If they had
But
bought the rights to this, they got hold of it. I got
yeah,
one.
because
Yeah.
it was animated by Sony Pictures ImageWorks. And it came out
Interesting.
on Netflix and all that. But um, in a lot of ways, in some ways, certain aspects of it, it reminds me of K-pop Demon Hunter.
I can see why I would
Um,
say that.
I don't know if you've seen this movie, but
Interesting.
have you seen Over the Moon?
No, I've never seen it. No.
Um, so okay, I'll give the abridged version of the story, um, which is easy. It's a kids movie. So basically,
It's true.
Fei Fei and her mother and her dad are living happily together. Her mother frequently tells her story about the mythical goddess on the moon, Chang. I don't know how to pronounce a lot of these names. Um, um, because I'm pretty sure this is Korean style story.
That makes
Um,
sense. It does give me that
and
vibe.
sorry, I'm just seeing word 7893 says I got a question. You ask your question and I'll keep talking about this movie. Um, so yeah, basically then as is tradition in Disney slash Pixar slash those kind of movies, the mom dies. And
As is the tradition.
in one of those style of movies.
But by the way, it lost soul.
I think this should have won.
I do too. So this is what it was up against. It was up against Soul, Onward, Shaun the Sheep, and Wolf Walkers.
Interesting. I think this should have beaten Soul, but I have a hard time not saying that the other one that you mentioned,
Onward?
Onwards.
I don't know.
I really like that
Yeah, but
movie.
that movie's so blah.
It's kind of, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Uh
Also, just
word 78
as a
what?
random aside, Toy Story 4 lost to Klaus, and that is an absolute travesty. That that
Eh,
that Klaus got robbed.
Klaus was really good.
It's infinitely better than Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4?
You said Toy Story 4 lost to it.
No, one. It beat Klaus.
So opposite of what you said.
Travesty. Feels like an absolute travesty.
Yeah, sorry. Word 7893's question is, do you think the Timothy Chalamet beef will cost him Oscar? In my opinion, the guy was out of line. He shouldn't have disrespected opera and ballet.
I don't think he was ever gonna win. So no, I don't think it cost him anything. I think Michael B. Jordan is gonna pretty comfortably win Best Picture, and you're gonna see a lot of one guy playing two or one girl playing two girl movies coming out of Hollywood in the next couple years. But I mean,
Um,
Sinners. Spoiler alert for the end of this, but Sinners he's gonna sweep. There's some categories I think it won't sweep, but it's probably gonna win Best Picture, and Michael B. Jordan's gonna win Best Actor. There, you don't have to hang out to the end.
over the moon. So yeah, mom dies, and then it's supposed to be like a time jump, and dad brings over Mrs. whatever the character's name is, can't remember, over to a family event, and the person who ultimately will become our main character's new mother brings her son as well, and our main character Fei Fei doesn't it says word 7893 says interesting. I think the guy from I Swear will win.
I swear, I didn't
Um,
watch. I swear.
um, yeah, no, the kid is weird and vaguely irritating. So of course our main character Fei Fei, who is kind of like Cora from Coraline,
Yeah, yeah.
in
Okay,
terms
yeah.
of characterization. Um, she's basically like, "Go away! I didn't want you. I didn't ask for you. You're not my brother." And so then, she wants to get proof that what her mother said about the person on the moon was correct, and so she builds the spaceship. They go to the moon. It gets silly and weird. They learn a lesson. She learns a lesson along the way, and there's fun music.
Yeah.
And so the section where you came in, where the kid, which that's the new little brother, was playing ping pong. He's he's supposed to be like he's good, like he wins in competitions and stuff. And so he's trying to win against the Princess of the Moon so that she'll give the picture to Fei Fei so they can go home,
Gotcha.
basically.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That makes
Um,
sense. That makes sense.
and yeah, overall, it's not reinventing the wheel. That's where I say it feels like it wants to be like a Disney or a DreamWorks.
I mean, they usually do.
Um, um, and I think it's really good and it's really fun.
Especially those Asian 3D animated studios. They desperately want to be Disney.
Well, this was animated by Sony Pictures and ImageWorks.
Japanese is what I'm saying. They want to be. They want to be. Yeah. They want to be Disney or Pixar.
Um,
Um.
but yeah, no, that's all I have to say about that one. It was good, and I enjoyed it.
To go back to what Timothy Chalamet, just real quick, said about opera and ballet, which for Jordan's benefit, I guarantee Jordan doesn't know what he said about opera and ballet. What he said about opera and ballet was how nobody watches. I'm paraphrasing and I'm probably getting it wrong, but it was something to the effect of, I don't want to be a part of an industry that nobody watches, like how nobody watches opera or ballet. Again, I'm pretty sure I'm paraphrasing, but that's more or less what he said. And like, I don't necessarily disagree with the sentiment of what he's saying, because like when I was when I worked in the movie theater, they used to have operas every like couple of weeks every weekend, and the only people who ever showed up to the opera were old, and I was young at the time, so I was 17 or 18. So like, Gen Z's not going to the opera. That's just Gen Z's not watching the opera. Gen Z's not going to the Nutcracker ballet. They're just not. And he is kind of Gen Z, so it's a thing that is not unexpected from a guy that age in that position for him to say. So like, while there are lots of ballet dancers and opera singers, to be fair, I can't stand opera singing. It hits my inner ear in a way that makes me flinch. Like, I can't stand when an opera singer warbles. I can't stand it.
Oh!
Yeah, it makes me go, stop, please. Stop doing that. So, like, I'm not the guy to defend the opera. I don't like opera. So, I will never pay money to go watch an opera. So I'm kind of with him, where I'm like, who cares about opera or ballet? But I understand that there are plenty of talented opera and ballet singers, opera singers and ballet dancers out there who could dance and sing around me and are way more successful than me. So once again, what do I know?
What do I know?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But no, to reiterate, I do not think that that's going to affect him winning an Oscar. I think, yeah, I don't think, I think his performance was good. I think he next to Michael B. Jordan stands the second best chance of winning. Oh boy, okay. No, sorry. Oh yeah, the one nice thing about Begonia was only like 2 hours long. This is the one. This was the one that was agonizing, but at least it was in English. This is One Battle After Another. And this movie...
War film?
Huh?
War film?
No, kind of, not really, sort of, kind of. I'll explain what I mean in a second. But this requires a disclaimer, because this one's going to get vaguely political. And I don't like making this point here because I like to keep this space kind of neutral, but my point has always been all clubs are bad, and activism has the tendency to be performative, and like there's a lot of times where people who claim to want to be equal and create equality and get rid of the oppressors, it just seems like you don't want to get rid of oppression, you just want to be the one doing the oppressing. And this movie,
so what you're trying to say is you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
So I suppose, yeah, that is in a way what I'm saying. So in this movie, this movie is about, it stars Leonardo DiCaprio, which was immediately exciting. I was like, oh, it's Leonardo DiCaprio. And he is a, I don't know how else to describe the type, but initially the movie starts off in I think it's like the 1970s or 80s or whatever. And he's part of like they're called the French emissaries or something to that effect. And they're basically like a rebel anarchist, kind of like the Black Panthers, like violent kind of insurgency group who shows up to things and like blow shit up or like explode shit or stuff like that. And so Leonardo DiCaprio is the token white guy, basically, where he's their demolitions explosive expert and he helps them blow shit up. But like they almost imply that his attraction or love of black people is almost fetishistic in a way. Like he's more attracted to them as an idea rather than as people. And so he meets this girl, and the girl just keeps wanting to do rebel shit, like blow shit up, explode shit. And every time they explode shit or blow shit up, she gets off on it. So like at one point they're about to blow up like a something, I can't remember what, and a car or something. And as it's about to blow up, she's like, "We should do it right here and right now." And he's like, "No,
Take
this
me.
thing." Pretty much, yeah. Except for she uses more vulgar language. But yes, basically,
Yes, but Justin, this is YouTube friendly,
this is we're
okay?
trying to keep this YouTube friendly. We're trying to get ourselves to a place of being monetizable. No, and she's like, basically, yeah, like, do me here, right as the thing's about to explode, and like, they introduce a character played by Sean Penn, who's like this kind of white supremacist army guy who she has a weird fixation and attraction to, and so she kidnaps him and like basically like emasculates him sexually, and he kind of enjoys it, and she is getting off on the power that she is holding over him, basically standing over top of him and being like, "Kiss my boot, you have to do what I want." And they end up hooking up, getting together, whatever. And she winds up robbing a bank to get money for their revolution or whatever, and she's there standing over top of everybody, like imposing her will on them and being like, "You all have to do what I say because I now have the gun and I have the power." And it seems like,
One might say she was dominating them.
right, and this movie is written and directed by a white guy, so it's
You
hard
know,
for me.
all her life she was the sub, and quite suddenly she got to be the dom.
So my issue with this is it kind of seems to be saying that, oh, it doesn't matter who is in charge. Again, nobody once you do the nobody, like, people like the idea of doing the revolution. They don't want to actually. It's sort of like that bit from Doctor Who where it's like, once you get rid of all the bad people, what's left over? It's sort of like that, where it's like she seems to be more into the idea of doing a revolution and being in charge and being on top of people than she actually does in creating legitimate equality. And it's like, but that is a perspective that is coming from a white man, right? It's not coming from a person of color. This isn't a movie made by a person of color. So it's hard for me to be like, oh, is that the message is not, doesn't
Feels
feel,
like
yeah, it
propaganda at
doesn't
that
feel
point.
sincere or genuine. And so then, but then as the movie goes on, it does a time jump, and now Leonardo DiCaprio is not doing the advocacy rebellion thing anymore, and basically the girl that he was with, she robs the bank and she gets caught, and in order to get away, she rats on everybody in their little group, and they all get killed. They all get executed, except for her, because he helps the racist white supremacist army guy helps her escape. And so she escapes and gets away. And it's like the movie seems to be saying that, oh, people only are advocates until it no longer suits them. Because it's like, oh, the minute being an advocate didn't suit her, she immediately sold out her friends and her cohorts and their entire movement, and they all died because it no longer suited her. But again, that's a hard message to take when it's not a person of color saying it. Does that make any
Hmm.
sense? Yeah, that makes sense, right? Okay. Um,
Again, it comes across like propaganda.
right. And so then, um, the
Like
movie,
the white person who wrote it wants you to think that that's the case
right.
because it benefits them.
But then also the movie does a flash forward, and the rest of the movie becomes this kind of chase game of the white supremacist guy. He's trying to get into I can't remember what it's like, mega super space team or something. They have a name for it. It's basically like a secret government white supremacist group that he wants to get into. But he discovers that the the woman had a child, basically that he has a daughter, and that he needs to find her. And so the rest of the movie is Leonardo DiCaprio, is them getting her away. She's at the dance and them helping her escape the what's left of this group. and Leonardo DiCaprio trying to find her and freaking out because he's now become he smokes pot all the time and is basically paranoid that everyone is out to get him. And the daughter treats this as though it's some kind of like burden behavior, except for people are out to get him and are chasing after him. So his paranoia
He's not crazy.
is totally justified. And so there's a point where like Leonardo DiCaprio has stopped giving a shit basically. He doesn't remember, like they all have secret code words and phrases and whatever, and he doesn't remember any of them. He doesn't know any of them because he stopped giving a shit. He stopped caring about advocacy.
He checked out.
He completely checked out. And so there's a point where he's trying to figure out where they're holding the daughter, and he's on the phone with now a modern leftist, and the modern leftist is like won't tell him. He's like, oh, what's the password? And he's like, I don't remember it. Just tell me where my kid is. He's like, the password was, what time is it? Like, I swear it's been like 20 years since I've done this. I don't remember any of this. And he won't tell him anything. And he's like, where are you right now? And he's like, I'm currently on the unceded land of the blah, 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 blah. And Leonardo DiCaprio snaps. He goes, oh my God, you're so annoying. Like, you think you're being helpful, but you're not. You're not helpful. And finally, he gets a hold of one of the guys who's like, oh yeah, he's like a legend in this space and everyone knows who he is. And the guy's like, do you feel good? Do you feel good about being useless and unhelpful and like being performative basically? Do you feel good about that? And it's just this idea of like, yeah, this guy likes the idea of being an ally, but when it comes time to actually be an ally, he's not helpful. He's just about spouting the party line, or as you put it, propaganda. And it really does seem to present this idea that propaganda comes from both sides, or like
I mean, of course, propaganda comes from both sides. Definitely.
activism. Activism is, yeah. It just, again, it seems to be making the case that people only want to be the ones in charge. They don't want to actually be equal. Like that. Just again, I am positive.
I don't
I
know.
am massively.
Maybe I'm just a cynical person, but I have felt that for a long time.
I don't know. I was okay. Like I don't. Number one, don't think it's gonna win Best Picture. Been very clear about that. Leonardo DiCaprio is nominated for Best Actor off of this, and he's good in this. Benicio del Toro is in there, Best Supporting. I he's all right. Leonardo DiCaprio is good. There's a couple of really solid Leonardo DiCaprio freaking out moments, which I always love. I don't think it's his best performance. I stand by it. I still think it's Wolf of Wall Street. I don't even think he should have won the Oscar for the movie he did win it for. Like, I don't think The Revenant is that good. I still think his best performance that I've seen is still Wolf of Wall Street. I will stand by that he got robbed. He got robbed on that movie.
As a lead actor, I would agree Wolf of Wall Street. As a supporting actor, I would make the argument for Django Unchained.
Oh, he's really good in that.
He's really good in that.
I think he
one.
got nominated for Best Supporting for that as well. I'm pretty sure he did. He might have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's just not exceptional to me. Like, I have similar feelings about another actor that's coming up where I'm like, it's all right. It's all right. This movie is also too. I don't know what it is with these Oscar movies and being agonizingly and painfully long. But I think this was also 2.5 hours long, or 240, something like that. I think this was the one that was 240, and the rest of them have hovered around 2 hours. But most of them have been between 2 hours and 2.5 hours, and they've all been too long. That's it though. That's one battle after another. It's all right. It's all right. We're gonna. I'm pretty sure I've missed nominations in there. We're gonna go through it at the end. Don't you worry, Jordan.
I wasn't worried.
Jordan, do you have any ideas of what you think? Are you formulating ideas for what you think should win based upon purely what I've told you?
No, not really. My brain is feeling a little sloopy.
All right. All right. Oh, except for Ex Machina. That's the only one that. Anyway, we're gonna get there. There's only one. There's only one.
My fourth rapid fire. was Walk the Line.
Ah, I love that movie. It was really good.
It came out in 2005, and Reese Witherspoon won Best Actress in a leading role for that one.
Is that the only Oscar it won?
It might have won more. I don't know.
Oh.
Um, but I know that it won that.
Yeah, they both did their own singing.
And yeah, no, this one's good. And it's based on two different books.
Hmm.
It's based on Johnny Cash, Man in Black, his own story in his own words, and Cash, the
I
autobiography.
can't remember if he was involved in making this or if this came out after he passed away. I cannot remember.
I think he was.
Was he? Kind
I
of.
I want to say he
It does have
was.
that vibe of Johnny Cash was involved in this. It does come across that way.
Uh, I can't. I don't want to read through this entire Wikipedia article, but I want to say that he was. Um,
Well, the easiest
but
way to find that out would be to
Joaquin Phoenix is really good in this. Watching something like this sort of made me go like, "Oh yeah, he did more than just be the Joker."
yes. No, he was not involved in this. He passed away in 2003.
Fair enough. Um, um,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jackson is just a metaphor for him cheating on his wife.
I mean, definitely in the movie, he's singing it with his second wife while his first wife is in the audience, and they're making fuck me eyes to each
Oh,
other.
I'm going
So,
to Jackson.
um,
Is Jackson Town? It's funny. A lot of the
well,
songs I actually like the Joaquin Phoenix version better, which is
yeah,
funny.
I had that experience where I went and I listened to the original version of that particular song and that song in particular, and I was just like, oh, movie version's better.
Oh, the rhythm is really slow and weird, and
It's just
I'm
it's
not a
just not
I'm not a fan
the
of how Johnny
same.
Cash sings. Although I will say though, um, the one exception to that where I like the Johnny Cash version better is I like Johnny Cash's version of "Hurt" better.
I'd have to hear it.
It's one where it's like,
Um,
"Touch myself today to see how I could feel." You remember the trailer for Logan?
yes,
That's Johnny Cash's version of "Hurt."
I understand.
We'll
I
play it
thought it
for
was funny
we'll play it for you
because
later.
I thought it was funny because this was an example of like I knew the songs because for the longest time we had our old CDs which had a bunch of the
Yeah,
songs.
because I love this movie.
Um, but I didn't realize that they were from this movie.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. I'm positive
So,
you've seen this movie before.
oh, maybe I can't. I'm not confident enough to empirically say yes or no.
Here's
I
my
know that you. I remember when you watched it, but I think I got distracted and wandered off and did
I can
something
believe that.
else.
I at one point had the soundtrack for it. No, or at the very least, I think that was during that point where you could take CDs out of the library, and I think I used to take the soundtrack for this movie out of the library a lot.
Yeah, and that's where I was like, I remember those versions of the songs.
It's when I
So
used to listen to a Discman.
when I went and I looked up the original version of the one song, I was like, this doesn't sound right.
I'm
Um,
such a nerd. I used to listen to the soundtrack to the Revenge of the Sith. I used to just
the
listen.
book.
No, the movie. I just the soundtrack. You could write the soundtrack
Oh,
from the library, and I would just listen to the soundtrack.
that's funny. Yeah, this one was 136 minutes, which I think is like two and a bit.
It's
Um,
got a pretty tight pacing. It does not feel overly long.
it there no, for the most part you're right. The part where he's addicted to drugs though runs a little bit long for me.
Yeah, but I mean, he was addicted to drugs for a long time.
I get that, but just from a movie standpoint, it just made it
Yeah,
feel long.
my man loved pills. He loved the pills.
Um, but yeah, I don't have much more to say about this one. It was pretty good.
Yeah, everyone's good in it. I mean, they I think the most impressive part is that Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon sound good together. I think the fact that they sing themselves is still incredible. Like I understand
Yeah,
why she won for it.
absolutely.
Um,
Um, it's also just weird to see Jennifer Goodwin before
oh
she
yeah, she's his wife, right? Yeah, she's the first wife,
she's his
right?
first wife. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's got. I think she's got Once Upon a Time haircut as well. I think.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think yeah. And she just likes having short
Um,
hair.
But
Which is like, hey, fair enough.
no, yeah, good movie. Good movie.
Okay. Okay. So, um, next one is your enjoyment of this next one is really going to depend on how much you like F1 racing because this is F1 and it's about F1 racing. And visually incredible movie. Like the races look good in contrast to Marty Supreme, where it was like, oh, none of the table tennis games look good. The races look good, but it's one of those things. It's one of those movies where like when I was watching it, I was like, if I understood any of the lingo and was even remotely a hair invested in F1 Formula One racing, I would be into this. But I'm not, and so it's just not. It's just not. The performances are all right. I really learned from this movie that F1 racing is a real team sport. Like there's like for every one racer, there's like five racers. But for some reason, in this movie, like, and this really has everything to do with my limited knowledge about F1 Formula One racers. They have two people on their team, and one of the people on the team is helping the other one cheat. So like it's stuff like in order for the one guy to win, like this has Brad Pitt in it, and Brad Pitt's like crashing into people to knock them out of the race so the other guy can win, or he's being really reckless and it's distracting from away from the other guy so the other guy can sneak through and win. And I'm like, this feels really unethical. This is not violating some sort of rule. It's not. All right, okay then. Um, Brad Pitt is nominated for Best Actor for this. I don't think he should win. I think Brad Pitt. He what's a Brad Pitt role that he's playing a particular kind of Brad Pitt where it's like World War Z Brad Pitt where he's like snarky cutting remark Brad Pitt. You know what? He's I
Okay.
don't want to say he's like the same in every movie because he's not, but he's got like two roles and this is number two. Like it's just
Double O seven, not 007, but Mission Impossible
that's Tom Cruise.
version.
That's Tom Cruise.
Who did you say?
I said Brad Pitt.
Huh.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
but yeah,
Anyway.
he's always the same in like every single one of his. I might, but he's always the same. There's no nuance to this performance. The joke is that he's old. Like they make 1,000 jokes about how he's old and how he's losing it. Um, yeah, yeah. It's just I didn't think there was anything to the performance. I don't really understand why it's there in terms of a nomination. I don't know enough about the other. I didn't see enough movies from this year to really be like I don't know who else should. But it's just I was like, there's nothing special about this. I've seen this performance from Brad Pitt before. This is not very exciting. I believe this is also nominated for best special effects.
Oh, Fight Club.
Fight Club. There we go. That's another Brad Pitt. He's not quite Fight Club Brad Pitt because that's still young Brad Pitt, but he's older Brad Pitt. Older Brad Pitt always
Yeah.
is exactly the same in every single movie he's in. Like the performance
To
is
be
always the
fair,
same.
in his defense, there's a number of actors who are like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah. An actor from a particular
like Will
time, and
Arnett.
yeah, I think Will Arnett blends a little more, but yeah, he's definitely one of those. But to be fair, Brad Pitt comes from that era of movies where you could just be Brad Pitt. Like now you have to be a good performer, and the name's not carrying you anymore. I don't think the name is carrying you anymore. I think he comes from that era of movie making where you would just show up for a George Clooney movie, for example.
That's fair. I understand.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I have for F1. It's all right. I liked it better than one battle or the other, and importantly, it was 30 minutes shorter.
Well, that just instantly makes it
I know,
better.
right? I know. Automatically makes it better.
So my last rapid fire came out in 1991. It's called The Fisher King, and Robin Williams was nominated for Best
I
Actor in a
still,
Leading.
that's one of those ones I still want to watch. I hear it's good.
It is. Do you want me to spoil the shit out of it?
Just don't tell me if characters die.
Fair. Well, I kind of, in one instance,
Unless it's like it happens early on.
Yeah, it's like right in the beginning.
Or it's like a
So
big twist.
Jeff
If it's a big
Bridges
twist,
is
don't give it away. Yeah, Jeff
it's
Bridges.
not
That was the one that.
it's kind of the main point of the
Oh,
thing.
okay. If it's part
So
of the premise of the movie, then that's fine. Or if it would have happened in the trailer, I can't say if it would happen in the trailer because it's old. You know what I mean? But if it's one of those,
yeah,
like it's
I
yeah.
feel like I feel like it would have. So basically, Jeff Bridges, at the beginning of the movie, is like a radio jockey who
Who is the Fisher
he
King?
uh I think technically it's supposed to be a metaphor, but I think technically Jeff Bridges would be considered the Fisher King.
Oh right, yeah, because the Fisher King is. I remember overhearing him say that's an old fable, right? Because there's a. I
Yeah,
remember there's an episode
it's a
of.
fable where like a fool helps a knight solve a quest or something like that.
Because I was gonna say there's an episode of
Um,
Doctor Who, which has a Fisher King. The Fisher King shows up,
but
spelled the same
so
way.
yeah, um, he I don't remember exactly what he says, but Jeff Bridges says some terrible thing
Is it Jeff
on it
Bridges?
on his radio show, which then causes a psychopath or a crazy person to go to some store or whatever, and go on a killing spree.
Oh, geez, not at all
Um,
relevant to today.
and and so then we flash forward to modern day, and um, Jeff Bridges has
Jeff
been bumming
Bridges.
with his girlfriend because he felt such immense guilt, the fact that he caused this terrible tragedy to happen, and then we'll buzz through the rest of this. Um, Basically, he's out at night and he gets like attacked by criminals, and then Robin Williams shows up in like his makeshift knight's armor and saves him, and they develop a friendship, and then we find out some things about Robin Williams that makes Jeff Bridges feel like he can redeem himself by helping him and making his life better. Um, and Over the course of the movie, Jeff Bridges learns to be a better person. Robin Williams is kind of
He learns to be less crazy.
forced to deal with his trauma, and
So
at least a little
yes,
bit. And that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to give away details if you're gonna watch this.
probably Adam.
Um, but yeah, he um, whatchamacallit, uh, uh, the film earned 5 nominations. It got Best Actor for Williams and Best Original Screenplay for Lev Gravens, with Ruel winning Best Supporting Actress. And I don't know what other ones there were, but yeah, no, it's a good movie.
All right.
It's solid. It uh, uh, Wikipedia describes it as a American fantasy comedy drama film, which if that doesn't sound like a bunch of um, what's the term where it's two opposites?
Antonyms.
Sure. If those don't sound like opposites, comedy and drama, then nothing will.
I mean, dramedy does exist. That is a thing.
But huh, interesting. Is it that? It is. Um, so I don't, this might make it more appealing. But it was directed by Terry Gilliam.
Huh. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, I didn't either until just
I
now,
did
right
not.
this
I
moment.
did not know
Yeah, it
that.
came out in 1991, so it's as old as I am.
Interesting. Interesting.
It's good. You
Good.
should check it out.
I will later, at a later date and time in the future. That's not today.
But that's my last rapid fire.
First half scene. The half scenes, if you will. This did not come out this year.
This is not pudding.
This is not
It's not
from.
pudding. Then what is it?
This is a movie called Ex Machina. This
De Deus
surprisingly only got
Deus Ex Machina?
Deus Ex Machina. This got or no, I don't know if it won, but it got nominated for Best Special Effects. I thought for sure it was got some performance awards, but it did not. Um,
I think I've talked about that on here.
You have. It stars Oscar
Insert
Isaac.
insert Jordan's past Jordan's opinions here.
Um, it has Oscar Isaac in it and Domhnall Gleeson, who is doing an American accent in this movie for some reason, and he is, I believe, the son of the guy who plays Moody.
Mad Eye Moody,
Yeah, I believe that's his
David
son.
Tennant.
No, not David Tennant. Brandon Gleeson.
Oh no, that's he plays Barnabas
Yes,
Crouch
yes, he
Jr.
does. And the plot of this is that um, Oscar Isaac brings uh, Donald Gleeson to his real big mansion in the middle of nowhere in order to administer what he says is the Turing test on one of his robots. And Oscar Isaac is sort of basically like a eccentric. I would say Elon Musk, but he's really more amalgamous to the Amazon guy, Jeff Bezos. Um, and he stays with them for a week, and over the course of the week, Oscar Isaac like is drinking a lot and getting drunk and being like sort of verbally shitty to both the android, and he's got a separate girl who is Japanese or Chinese or Asian and who works for him. And big twist. Um,
Spoilers.
you find out that the other girl is also a robot or whatever, and you find out that he's in fact not doing the Turing test, but the test was to see whether or not the robot could escape or not, and the
Could fool
parameters
him.
it gave. Well, that's the thing is like the argument because I looked this up. I was like, oh, did he pass the Turing test? And I kept going, no, because he never did the Turing test. The 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 robot is not human. Like well, the number one, the Turing test is about whether or not it can convince you that it's human, which automatically it comes out the gate and is like, I'm not human, so it automatically failed the Turing test. But even if you wanted to expand the perimeters of the Turing test, is that you feel empathy or sympathy for the robot, for the machine. Um, it has no empathy. It's just completing a program. It doesn't have emotions. It just writes programs, and that's what it's doing. It's just executing a program, and the program that has been given is to escape. You and so he at the
I
end,
mean, it's a sophisticated program, but it's still a program.
right? So like at the end, it again spoiler it kills Oscar Isaac, stabs him right in the chest, and escapes and leaves Donald Gleason. I'm pretty sure I got the name wrong. Anyway, leaves the other guy there to die basically. Um, and both of them act surprised by this, but that's it fulfilling its programming, which is its programming was to escape and get to escape the place. So it's just following. It did not achieve human emotion. It did not receive human feelings. It did exactly what you told it to do. You told it to do it to get to escape by any means possible, and it did. It just completed its programming. And when it gets to the Times Square, whatever, at the end, it doesn't know what to do because it no longer has a program. So it did not achieve humanity. The performances are all good. I think it's probably my favorite Oscar Isaac movie. It's a small. I think I said it's one of my favorite. It reminds me a lot of Ted, in the sense that like it's a small budget movie where all of the budget, none of the like the it's very like loose and small, and all of the money just goes to the one effect of making the girl look like a robot, which
Yeah.
it accomplishes. It looks believable. She looks believable. The whole thing looks great. All of their performances are good. Um, the main guy,
My thing with this movie is if you want to experience a better thing where the robots feel more alive, play Detroit, become human.
yeah, that is an example of the tour them whether questioning whether or not they could pass the Turing test because they don't know that they're machines in some cases.
Yeah,
So like at that point, yes, that could theoretically pass the Turing test because it could conceivably convince you that it's human. Like I saw someone say that
exactly.
it's not about you knowing whether or not it is human, but yeah, it is because if you go into the test knowing it's not human, then it can't convince it will never convince you that it's human because you know
Now,
that it's
is the
not
test
human.
that it needs to convince you that it's human? Because I thought that, I mean, this movie makes the case that the Turing test is making you believe that it can reason like a human.
Yeah, that he's wrong. I read that's one of the things I read online was his interpretation of the Turing test is wrong. He's
Okay, fair
incorrect.
enough.
Um, Also, I just love the implication that like humans just want to build a thing that they can fuck. Like that's all. Like he created this sophisticated intelligence, and all he wants to do is fuck it. Like surely,
A more accomplished sex toy.
right? Like surely we can do things that are more accomplished than simply making a thing that we can hump. Like, um,
No, no. That's all humans know how to do is hump. We're
is
just
hump.
animals.
I guess that is true. No, but I love this movie. It's one of my all time favorites. It's really good, really good, really simple. Nothing too complicated or upsetting about it, but also makes you think. That's Ex Machina.
Makes you think.
It makes you think.
So my
Ex Machina.
first my first have seen is came out in 2011. It's called Bridesmaids, and it was nominated for Best
Oh,
Writing,
I can't believe it got nominated for
Original
best
Screenplay.
screenplay. I cannot believe
Best
that.
best Best Original
What
Screenplay.
what year is what year was this?
2011.
2011. Keep talking. I'm listening.
Um, so my big thing with this movie as I'm watching it, which I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I like this movie. I thought it was funny. There's definitely points where I find myself laughing every time, like the point where they're looking at bridesmaids' dresses and they've all eaten the tainted meat.
Oh,
I mean,
that
who doesn't
them all
love a
shitting
good
in the
poop
sink is
joke?
funny. That is funny. I'll give you
Like, who
that.
doesn't love a good poop joke?
I mean, that is
Um,
funny.
my thing with this movie is, and I remember thinking this when it came out, but I even more with time removed, I tend to think this. Um, this movie really wanted to be, and I don't know how to word
Sorry, you
this,
said you said
but
2011.
2011. Um, this movie really wanted to be female
Oh,
Hangover.
absolutely. There was from around that era. There were several attempts at making Girl Hangover. It happened a ton.
So like I fully believe that there's a script locked away somewhere, which is Bridesmaids 2, where another one of them is getting married,
Oh,
and
absolutely, absolutely.
it's just the Hangover 2, but it's Bridesmaid. Like I fully believe that. Um, this movie did well, so
Yes, it absolutely
I'm
did.
kind
Launched.
of surprised.
So
Sorry,
I was gonna say launched. What's her face into the stratosphere?
Melissa
Yeah,
McCarthy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Her.
Um, yeah, I'm surprised that this didn't get some sort of sequel because it had a budget of 32.5 million and its box office was 289.1 million.
I can't believe they never made a second one.
So it's somewhat shocking that they never made a sequel. Um, but yeah, I mean, I liked it. Uh, it was nominated for Best Supporting Actress with Melissa McCarthy and Best Original Screenplay.
What?
Kristen Wiig and Annie
Really?
Murmelo were nominated for that.
Yeah, yeah. No, this says they were nominated for best original
Um,
screenplay. But when I go to the 20, that's so weird. Because when I go to the 2011, maybe it was 2012 Oscars. When I go to 2011 Oscars, it's not there.
it might have been 2012. I just know that the movie came out in 2011, but it came out April 28th, 2011.
I'm just trying to see.
So May 13th in America. Um, but it might have been a thing where yeah, it was the 2012 one.
Yeah, that would make sense. Because like, oh yeah, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. Wow. It's bizarre that because comedies don't get nominated for Oscars. It's a whole thing. There's a big song that oh
Why not me?
no, that's one of them. But no, there's one that was John C. Riley, Jack Black, and Will Ferrell sing about how it's a comedian at the Oscars. It's about how comedies don't win Oscars. So it's incredible to me that she got nominated for She got nominated for Best Actress and it got for Best Screenplay. Oh,
Best original
it
screenplay.
it
Yeah.
it got it got nominated for Best Original Screenplay and it lost to Woody Allen. Ooh, that's harsh.
um, but yeah, no, solid 125 minutes. Um,
I just that's
perfect
shocking
length.
to me.
Didn't overstay its welcome.
I would love to know. I never very rarely and I'm like Academy explain yourself. But that would be one where I'd be like Bridesmaids? Surely there was better written movies in 2011. Surely there was.
Apparently there wasn't.
Evidently there wasn't.
Um, but yeah, I like this one. So
Yeah, I know. I remember liking it at the time.
you remember the word guilty pleasure?
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
falls under that
I
category.
detest that word, but yes, I do. Yeah, I can recall laughing at it. Who again? You said it best. Who doesn't laugh at a good poop joke?
And it's a pretty good poop
It's a
joke.
pretty
Don't
solid.
look at me.
It's a pretty solid. I mean, my favorite is her getting into who was it the plane security
Oh
guy.
yeah, the
Crush with my
he's
fucking
like
thighs.
I'm not an air marshal. Everybody down, I'm an air marshal. I fucking
I
knew it.
fucking knew it. Yeah, that is apparently um that is the Melissa McCarthy's real husband.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's funny.
I mean,
But
my favorite Melissa McCarthy line is always gonna be, "I'm gonna shove my hand down your throat and the other one up your ass and play you like you're a fucking accordion." Like that makes me laugh. It's the joke that makes me go, Melissa McCarthy is funny because it is like it's why I can't
it's the
stand when
delivery.
oh it's the delivery like everyone she just has these she has so many good ones and I hate This Is 40. That movie's god awful, but the best scene in that movie is her yelling at them in the office and just saying unhinged shit. It's like anytime if you ever try to say to me women aren't funny, I'm gonna be like, nah, Melissa McCarthy's funny. She's funny.
They have the capacity to be funny.
She's funny. I'm not gonna be sexist and say women aren't funny. Women are funny.
But yeah, that's Bridesmaids.
That's the official stance of the Spur of the Moment podcast, by the way, is that women are funny.
They have the capacity to be funny just as much as a man does.
Yeah, that's true.
That doesn't instantly mean that much like men, not all men are funny.
No,
Not all females are funny.
no, that's true. But not all females are unfunny.
Exactly.
That's the key. That's
Exactly.
the key part of the sentence there, Jordan. That's the part of the sentence that makes it not misogynistic. Anyway, this next one, Jordan, this movie's about trains. Jordan, you like
Trains, planes,
trains?
and trains, planes, and automobiles.
Jordan, you like trains, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like trains.
This is Train Dreams. This movie was really boring. I had to watch it twice because it was so boring. And this is the exact kind of movie where I'm like, this is why I hate Oscar movies because they're boring. They're really, really boring. This movie is just boring conversations in low lighting, and it's people who. This movie reminded me a lot of the Hamnet movie, where it's just a guy who goes through most of his life being alone in low lit rooms and low lit situations, and then he meets a woman, and then they kiss a lot in low light situations and talk about how much they love each other, and they have a kid, and then the kid dies, and then he continues being sad and depressed, and it's the kind of movie that's it's a lot of showing or telling you and not showing you. So like it reminded me a lot of that um we talked about it. I think you watched it, right? You ended up watching it. It was the
Which
one. No, maybe you didn't end up watching it, but we ended up talking about it. It's the one with Tom Holland, where it was based on a book, and I said you could tell because it has a narrator tell you exactly what's happening.
Spider-Man?
Not Spider Man, the one where he was like, oh, he could be a vigilante, and
Yeah, that sounds familiar,
it
but
was what's his face? Robert Pattinson was a creepy pedo priest.
you think you watched that and you told me about it.
Did you not end up watching? Anyway, um, this reminded me a lot of that in the sense that it's clear it is based on a book, and you could tell it's based on a book because it has a narrator who just tells you stuff that happens. So like at the end of the movie, it's like, oh yeah, and then this is a spoiler, but not really, because at the beginning of the movie, it's like, yeah, I don't know the character's name, so I'm going to call him Texas Avery. Texas Avery lived a long life until he was the age of 80. And then it goes through the movie and it shows you his really sad life and how his family. It seems to imply that they died in a fire, but then there's a scene later on where she comes back and then leaves through the window, but then it's implied that that's a dream and it's not real. And it wasn't really exceptionally clear to me whether or not it was real. I don't think it was real. I think he was just imagining it, but it's not. The movie is not, in my opinion, super clear. But again, I could be wrong. And then it gets to the end of the movie, and it's just like, yep. And Texas Avery just died in his sleep, never left this house, and the movie just kind of ends, and it's an hour 45. And the only good thing about it was that it was short. But like otherwise, William H Macy shows up in there, and he has like, his performance is so muted. Like it's just there's nothing about this that I found engaging. But this was an example of it's probably just me. I'm fully willing and capable of admitting that I'm mature enough to be like, Jordan, it's probably just me.
This one might not be for me.
Yeah, might not be for me. Like I couldn't get invested in any of the dialogue. It was so dry and slow. It's the kind of slow Oscar Beatty dialogue where every character says a line and then waits a beat and then says their next line. So the movie winds up being twice as long. If like, hey man, if you guys picked this shit up and said your lines a bit faster, this movie could be 20 minutes shorter. It's one of those movies. Yeah. Not the most egregious, most just boring thing that I watched this week. That's coming up. That's it. That's whatever the thing. Train story. Train yard.
Trainy McTrain.
Train dreams.
I watched my second half scene. I watched Rango, which was won Best Animated Feature Film in 2011. So this one's is really a love letter to Western films.
Yes, it is.
It's got references to various other films, including The Shakiest Gun in the West, A Fistful of Dollars, Chinatown, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Once Upon a Time in the West,
Yep.
Cat, Bayou,
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas,
Raising Arizona, and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yep.
So from what I remember, most of this movie was done with motion capture.
Not motion capture. It was physical references. So they had they didn't put them in motion capture suits, but they had them film. I don't know if it was the whole movie, but scenes from the movie, and then they would use that as visual reference.
Yeah, that's
a similar thing with the Fantastic Mr. Fox. There's really funny clips of George Clooney and them saying their lines. It's just like in this, there's funny references of Johnny Depp dressed as a cowboy doing the lines from this movie. It's very funny.
This one had a budget of 135 million, and its box office was 246 million.
Yeah, it didn't do exceptionally
It didn't
great.
do the greatest, which is probably why. Fun fact that I learned. Technically the story has a sequel, but it was in video games.
Yeah, that I didn't know. You said it was a PS3 game?
Yeah, hold on.
Why did I think that this movie was older than that?
It's 2011, so
yeah, that's definitely PS3 territory. For whatever reason, I was like, I expect you to
Electronic Arts released a video game of the same name, which served as a sequel to the film. It was on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Nintendo 3DS, and Wii.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that makes sense because Toy Story 3 came out in 2010, and that very much had a Wii game. So yeah, now that you said that, I guess in my brain, I was like, I remember that movie being like PlayStation 2 old, but I guess it's not.
No, apparently not. So if you ever thought to yourself, man, I would like a sequel to Rango.
No, I didn't.
Apparently video games is where you'll get that fix.
I can't see as to how you would do a sequel for Rango. I just, what more is there to say with that character, to do with that character?
Let's find out.
Like,
Rango video game. A meteorite crashes into a sand dune near the home of Beans, Rango's desert iguana girlfriend.
All right then.
Uh, the impact of the explosion scatters fragments everywhere. Bean's father walks up the hill and examines the crater, but he is taken in a flash of green light. 15 years later,
Wait,
Rango,
what?
the chameleon from the film, so I guess that was a prequel. Before that part's a prequel before the movie.
All right.
Um, 15 years later, Rango the chameleon from the film enters the scene, asleep on his Roadrunner Excelsior. He wakes up and makes his way into the gas can saloon. Just then, I mean, it's got the whole plot here. I'm not going to read the entire plot, but I guess it has something to do with a meteorite.
All right then. That
Um,
that's odd, but all right. I'll go with it. Why not? I'd play it. What kind of game is it
I,
though?
probably a platformer.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I can see
Um,
that.
let's see. Action adventure video game.
Oh, okay, it's like it's not Spyro. Yeah, I guess Spyro knockoff. I guess.
Like a platformer kind of
Yeah,
thing, probably.
or Mario. I guess they did it
Um,
first. Isom 3D isometric 3D platformer.
but as for the movie, it's good.
It's good.
It's fairly decent.
I like the art style. I like the animation. I like the fact where he cross. I like to see where he crosses the road and he goes to meet
Yeah, the Man of the Spirit of the West,
the man
which
with
is
no name.
which is supposed to be, yeah, a reference to the man with no name.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood.
Um,
That's the name I was looking for. It's Clint Eastwood.
Alfred Molina, Bill Nye, uh, Isla Fisher,
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Johnny Depp. No, Bill Nye, like I think he's the one
I
that
know.
was in that was in
I'm just tugging your balls, Jordan.
So Long and Thanks for All the Fish.
Yes, Bill Nighy. Nighy. I know who it is.
Nye.
I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, no, that's Rango. Good, good time.
Rango. Yeah, I like Rango.
Rango.
Okay, Joe, we're dipping a toe, we're dipping a toe into the far off. It's haven't scenes, Jordan. It's haven't scenes. Oh yeah,
Have
train dreams.
not seen.
Train dreams. I should have said before I got to train dreams. I'd never seen train dreams before. That was a. I only did one half scene this week because I wanted to watch all of the best picture nominees. Just so we're clear.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, just so you know. So my second technical half scene, I guess, is a movie called The Secret Agent.
How secret is that agent?
Pretty secret actually. So this is another example of this movie just wasn't for me. Like it was 2 hours and 40 minutes long. The version of it I got wouldn't load properly, so it kept fucking up. And most of it is in Portuguese except for the moments of it which are in German somehow, and it also seems to be making the point that like activism or participating in revolutionary activities just hurts you in the end because so they not the movie has this framing device of this girl is doing research on this guy who through doing her research she finds out that he is a I want to use the word secret agent because that implies he's working for the government, but basically he's working for this rebel group basically, and he's undercover.
So he's an insurgent.
Yeah, basically he's an that yes, and he's undercover in this office, and I kind of faded in and out because I'm not gonna lie to you, the movie was really boring, and it's him. It's a lot of characters' backstories and flashbacks to like at one point he's going to work for there's the CEO of like an electric company has a hit on him because he was offended by something he did when he was younger, and so he's the part of the movie is he's got a hitman chasing after him or whatever, and they're trying to cover some crime up. And it's funny because I saw someone say that they think that this movie is supposed to be like this sleeper hit that is going to win Best Picture because it's quote whimsical, which this is not. This is not whimsical. There's no whimsy here. Um, and throughout the movie, the guy basically is not. He's so busy doing the rebel shit that he's not spending time with his son, and so the movie ends with the student or whatever interviewing the guy's son, who is played by the same actor, and he's basically like, yeah, I didn't really get to know my dad all that much, but I love my grandpa, because the entire time he's staying with the grandpa who owns this movie theater, and that he keeps sending letters to the dad, but he's not really seeing the dad because the dad's so busy with this. And the movie ends with spoilers. They're doing some sort of operation, and his cover gets blown, and the guy kills. And out of nowhere, it gets violent for some reason, and the guy kills two people that he's with, and he goes to like escape. And he's been told earlier he needs to get out of there because there's been this hit put on him, and he gets shot and gets killed, and they frame him as being a criminal basically. So the world thinks he's this criminal. Nobody knows that he did this insurgency stuff. Nobody knows it because it all got covered up. And because it ends with her interviewing the son, and the son's like, yeah, I didn't know my dad, but I love my grandpa. We watch movies together, and that's kind of And it was just. I've kind of discovered that like when a movie isn't in English and it's not the movie's fault, it's just hard to like
engage.
Yeah, because so much of my time is spent looking at words and reading, and I always think of like, oh, but how come you can connect to characters in books? And it's like, well, because books are painting a scene, but like I'm being pulled away from the scene to read dialogue, and I'm just not connecting with it. It's just not so much of this movie is just once again long stretches of really dull dialogue where they do that Oscar bait thing where they take a pause between every line to let it sink, but it's now in Portuguese.
Right.
So it's not very interesting. Like
well, more just it was hard for you to engage with it.
Yeah, I just thought this is not doing anything for me. Like, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like it's a bad movie because I didn't like it doesn't make it a bad movie. We've grown and accepted that, right? We've learned to deal with that.
Mostly.
I just didn't. I think he's good. I don't think it's gonna win Best Picture, but I think he's good, and I think he will I think he deserves accolades. I don't think he's gonna win Best Actor for this, but I definitely think he deserves accolades. But yeah, it just was like I tried watching it twice, and three times actually. I watched the first 30 minutes of it, realized I couldn't tell you a thing that happened. Rewatched it again, kind of followed it for a bit, and then I wasn't really engaging with it, and then tried to watch it a third time, desperately being like, I need to find something to say about this. I need to find something to talk about this. And I just did nothing for me. Nothing for me. Bottom. Something has to be the worst in a group of great, and this is probably the worst of the week. This was the one I liked the least.
I understand.
The Secret Agent.
So moving on to Have Not Seens. Both of the next two are nominated for Best Animated Feature Film. Both came out in 2025. We'll just preface that now. And so the first one is Elio.
I like this movie.
Which is a really solid, cute movie.
It is. It made me feel feelings.
If I had one and comment issue, not issue isn't the right word, but observation, is it really feels like in the past couple years, Pixar / Disney, but this one's Pixar, has kind of a checklist.
I mean, yeah.
If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I do get what you're saying.
And this checks all the checklists.
That's what I'm saying. I think I said that after Hoppers, where I was like, Pixar movies have their own identifiable. I call them tropes. Their own identifiable. This has to happen in a Pixar trope, and Elio and Hoppers reminded me a lot of each other. Like the fact that the Elio just starts with, and his parents are dead. I'm like, whoa, okay, that's a place to start this,
Why do all the parents need to be dead? I don't.
right?
I just
Like he's weird
like
and out of
you could
sorts. It
have
just
you could have had him be the same way, but his parents were alive.
right,
It's like you're saying, oh, if your parents die, you turn out weird.
right. That's odd.
It's a
Uh,
kind of an odd lesson.
also the one guy okay. I'm gonna play it for you when I find it. But the one guy, the one character in this, I said this when I watched it. The entire movie, I was like, why does his voice sound familiar? I looked it up. I looked up the actor. It wasn't in anything that I recognized. And I got about halfway through the movie and I realized he sounds like Owl Bear from the tabletop show, the Will Wheaton tabletop show. I'm gonna have to
That's
find a clip of it in order to show you.
odd, oddly specific, but yeah, okay, I guess.
Where like it sounds just like that. Where it's that like I can't think of a good way to describe it, but it's a particular kind of voice where I'm like, hi, it sounds so familiar. But yeah, it's cute. It made me feel feelings. Like
Yeah,
I think it's probably I don't know. I couldn't decide. I can't decide which I like better, Hoppers or Elio. I think I like Hoppers more. I really
Hoppers.
do. Yeah, I really do think I like Hoppers more.
I
But
laughed
like
more at Hoppers.
I do think it's better than I think it's better than oh my god.
K-pop.
No, the gay little fish boy
Oh, yeah, no, I can't remember
with
what
his
it's
adult
called.
bully. Luca, not Luca. Luca?
Luca, I
Was it
think
Luca?
is yeah,
I think it's better than Luca.
yeah,
In terms of a two child friend movie, I think it's better than. And also like it's funny how out of Hoppers you were like I don't understand how you couldn't do a sequel to this. Elio, I could see a sequel. I would love to see a sequel
I
to this.
mean, I never said they couldn't do a sequel. I said we're not going to rehash this, but I said I didn't think there should or there didn't need to be one,
I
is what I
would
said.
I would totally watch a sequel to this and you do a time skip.
Oh, yeah, I mean this they've set this up either for a sequel, which they could do, but they've also set this up for a Disney Plus show.
That too.
You could
I
totally do a Disney Plus
I
show.
would love to see a sequel where it's a time jump and he's now a young adult, maybe late teenager, and so is and now his voice is deeper and like he's an adult and they have to deal with each other as adults. I think that would be kind of a fun twist to their relationship. Um,
Yeah.
maybe he's evened
Point
out a bit. He's a
being,
little less weird.
point being that I would I'd be okay with watching more.
Yeah, I would too. I would too. I do think it's one of their better. I think it's better than Soul. I do think it's one of their better. I remember it more than I remember Soul, but yeah, to me the high standard of modern Pixar is Inside Out. I don't think it's as good as Inside Out, but
No,
I think it's better. Like I said, I think it's better than Luca. I think it's better than Soul, and I definitely think it's better than Lightyear.
that's fair. That's fair. For me, when it comes to Pixar, they're all just kind of, it's hard for me to pick, like they're, certain ones are definitely better than others, but like it's still Pixar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm
Like,
largely the same way with those Disney animated movies, where I'm like, it's still Disney. Like they're still kind of there's a base level of enjoyment you're always gonna get out of them. It takes a lot,
yeah,
but like also, I don't get upset at animated movies unless they're truly egregiously terrible.
that's fair.
I was about to say
Probably,
I don't get
that's
upset.
probably, that's probably the healthy response.
I was gonna say I don't get upset at animated movies, but then
That's not true.
that's not true. I remembered Norm of the North and that one weird animated movie where they were at a supermarket. Food fight, food fight. That upset me. Norm of the North
The
upset me. That I will admit
sausage
that.
party.
Sausage Party didn't upset me. But to be fair, I was
Yeah,
really inebriated when I watched that movie.
anyway.
Anywho,
Um, Elio, good movie. Had a
I,
budget
I
of
do agree with you though. Yeah, Pixar is that the one exception of. I don't think there's ever been a Pixar movie I've disliked.
had a budget of between 150 and 200 plus million, and as of yet, it says the box office is 154 million.
Sorry. So what did it make?
As of yet, the box office was 154 million.
What's the budget? Sorry.
100 between 150 and 200 plus million
It's a big old bomb.
as of yet.
Yeah, that makes sense. But like Disney has gotten smart about leaving their shit in theaters. Like Elemental was. Oh, I also think it's better than Elemental. That was another one. Um, they've done Elemental. They did a really smart thing where they just let it sit in theaters, and it ended up being like their like second most highest grossing movie of all time. So I think that they'll probably do that unless no, it's not in theaters, is it? Then yeah, big old bomb for Pixar. They're not doing good, but Disney's just not supporting them in the way that they should or used to because Disney's so focused on getting Zootopia 2 out there, as it were.
Yeah. Yep. That's all
Uh,
I have to say about that one.
Elio. My last movie of the week, George. Final movie of the week. Um, Final movie of the week is a movie called Sentimental Value. And initially, this movie was in Swedish. Swedish? Norwegian? Swedish? But Nordic language. I'm pretty sure it was Swedish. Because it sounded, there's points where it sounded like the Swedish chef and it made me laugh and I knew it shouldn't have, but it did. It was like, the Freuge bringe, Freuge fliegen. And I was like, oh, that's funny. That is
That
funny.
felt offensive.
It is. It's very offensive and it shouldn't be funny, but it was funny. Um, this is about, it's got Stellan Skarsgård in it. Okay. So this two different perspectives on this. So yes, stars Stellan Skarsgård, who you would know from the Thor movies. He is the Doctor whatever.
Oh,
Old man,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, his ex. It starts off. He's happy family, whatever. He leaves, and it flashes forward to the present day, and his two daughters, two girls, and their mom has recently passed away, and he has come back to reclaim the house so they can either sell it or he can live there or whatever. And he is a famous director, so on the one hand, I've discovered that anytime a movie is about one of the daughters is an actress because there's an exceptionally long scene at the beginning of her getting stage fright, and the other daughter has a son, and they're both kind of messed up because he is a famous director and he wasn't around when they were kids because he was too busy going off and being a famous director. And the one daughter was in one of his movies as a child, and they're now like he's in their life but kind of like flippantly, and his whole bit is they're like, you weren't there for me as a child. And he's like, well, you turned out fine, didn't you? He's one of those kinds of dads where it's like they're not like estranged to the point where they don't speak to each other, but like
But nothing is his fault.
right, and he's sort of flippant with his like treatment of them, of how of his connection to them, as it were. But he's still around. He still hangs around.
In a loose sense.
Yeah, so like their conversations are very like slow and passive aggressive, but so it's that kind of like tenuous kind of relationship. And I was like, I appreciated it because number one, it felt relatable. If you know, you know. Only Jordan knows. If that element of it felt relatable, where I was like, yeah, I have complicated relationships with my family, and
I
this
think
is
everyone does.
yeah, not every fraught relationship with your family is you yelling or screaming or crying or getting upset.
Mhm.
Some of it is no, you still hang out and you still like each other, but like they're like the number one
But it
thing.
can be tense.
There's a scene where they're having like almost like the two sisters are having almost like a team meeting about dad, where they're talking about him behind his back, and like it doesn't go into it, but it kind of broaches the idea a little bit of like life doesn't prepare you for the moment where you're an adult and your parents are also an adult. It doesn't prepare you to change the dynamic of that relationship because your parents can't, because your parents don't know how to. And this movie kind of explores that a little bit. And like, yeah, very much it wants you to be invested in the relationship between the daughters and the dad. And that's what it wants to be about. But for me, the part of it that I found the most interesting and this is another thing. I've discovered this when it's a movie about a famous actor or a famous director, you being famous and successful is not relatable. Like you being a director and directing and trying to get this passion project movie and everyone recognizes you at the restaurant, that's not relatable to normal people. Like celebrities aren't normal people. And so a great deal of this movie is in I want to know what language it is so I don't say it wrong. I want to say Swedish. Hold on. Hold on. What
Not English.
what language is sentimental value in? Oh, it just says okay, so it says Norwegian, Swedish, so Swedish, Norwegian, Swedish, and English. So at a certain point, he meets an American actress played by I think it's Elle Fanning, and they kind of develop a relationship where she is a big fan of his, and while he's screening a movie of his at a festival, she's also screening, and they connect. And basically, he has come back into the daughters' lives because he wants to make one final movie, his magnum opus, basically, which is a movie that's about his mom, who, when he was a kid, hung herself. And he
Oh, that's
wants,
dark.
in I didn't fully understand it, but he wants the one daughter who's an actress and who is doing kind of just nothing plays to be in this movie and play his mom. But it's not really his mom in the movie. It's a new character. But the story is, in the movie, is the
Based
story.
on
Yeah,
it, yeah.
based on the mom. But she doesn't want to do it because she feels it's disrespectful or whatever. And the movie is basically about their developing relationship, what have you, what have you. I'm skipping past a lot. And then it gets to the end, and the one daughter finally reads the screenplay and is like, this seems like it's about grandma, but it's actually more about you, the one sister who tried to commit suicide. And it's basically dad's way of like trying to connect with us, basically trying to get close to us. And so jump back, he meets this American actress who he wants to be in his movie. And because she's really popular, he feels that because part of the problem is he can't get the movie financed. And so he feels that if he can get this American actress to be in this movie, they'll be able to get financing. And once she comes into the movie is now in English. So it starts off with a big chunk of it is in Swedish, and like once again, I'm feeling myself glazing over, and I'm not really. A lot of it is just long dialogue in Swedish, and I'm just not getting into it. And Elle Fanning comes in and is speaking American, and I'm quite suddenly getting what's going on because they're having conversations about what's happening in the movie in English, and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to connect with this a bit better. And the daughters are obviously jealous of Elle Fanning because he's closer with Elle Fanning than he is with them. And Elle Fanning is having. I'm going to be totally embarrassed when it's not Elle Fanning, but anyway, she's having trouble connecting with the character because she is obviously American, and they're having to translate the script into English for her, and she's just having, and so she's like, it's very evident that like you want your daughter to play this character and not me because you've made my hair to look like her. You clearly like you definitely don't want to do this movie in English. Like you very definitely want to do this in Swedish. Like I don't feel right doing this. And he's like, yeah, you're like a really kind person, and I failed you by putting you in this position of having to do this. And it's really touching and it's really sweet. All three of the women in this all got nominated. Two of them got nominated for Best Supporting, and I think Elle Fanning got nominated for Best Actress. I might have that mixed up. We'll talk about it in a bit. I don't think it's right that this movie got 2 nominations in one category. Like I think when it comes to actors and performances, perhaps this is a hot take. I don't know, but I think it should be 1 per movie. So you want to know? You want to nominate? You want to put up for a 4-year campaign more than 1? Sure. Like you want to do 2 leading actresses, you put them both up, but then only 1 gets nominated for that category. Does that make sense?
That's fair.
Yeah, right? So like you can't have 2 actresses from the same movie. That doesn't feel fair to me. but maybe I'm wrong. That might be a hot take. I might be wrong. I don't know. But
I'm not the right person to tell you.
right. So this week, very much, Jordan has pitched behind the scenes nugget. Jordan has pitched foreign films to me a couple times, and this week very much made me go. That could be an ask. That could be tough. I did not have a good time trying to watch that movie and trying to watch this movie in Swedish. I don't know what I don't know what it is about the fact that I can do Japanese just fine, but any other language, like my brain is
I
just
find I find Japanese hard as well.
it's so
All the
fascinating.
things that you've said make Japanese hard for me as well.
That's so funny. It depends. Well, to wrap this up, but it depends. Tokusatsu is different because it's action heavy, and you can turn away and half watch action and still you don't have to fully pay and like engage with it. Um, I watched there's a movie called Shall We Dance, and I watched there's a Japanese version of it and an American version of it. I watched the Japanese version of it, and it was agonizing because it's when it's too much talking, you have to be reading subtitles and you're not paying
Mm,
attention. Yeah, when a foreign language film isn't really dense, it's really much looser. It's a lot easier to like half do the chameleon thing where you're like half watching, half reading subtitles. When it's really dialogue heavy, it's like yeah, my brain it
I know
washes
what you
over
mean.
me. Yeah,
I
yeah,
get you.
yeah. That's it though. That is whatever this movie is called. Sentimental value. Sentimental value. That was sentimental value.
My last one for the week, K-pop Demon Hunters.
K-pop Demon Hunters. This movie's so good.
Good movie, solid movie,
It's a good
good
movie.
music.
Solid movie. Good music. Solid music.
Um,
It's definitely
I
gonna
can
win Best
understand.
Animated.
I can understand why there's going to be a sequel.
For sure. Definitely.
It's definitely going
I
to win
said
Best
TV show.
Animated.
They could make it. Netflix could make a six episode. Netflix could make a 6 episode series of this, and I would totally understand.
Absolutely, they could. They could make one which is technically a prequel, showing how they've learned and like
Absolutely.
their background
They
and
could.
stuff.
That's a fair point. They could do a prequel on any number of the other teams as well.
Yeah.
They like. I didn't
Um,
even think about that. That's such a valid point. Yeah, they absolutely could.
like they've built this entire world, and it feels like we've come in like near the end of the story.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say end. I could see what you would say end. I would say maybe middle, but um,
I would say end because like they're fighting to put up like the ultimate thing, which is going to block
no, I
out
guess
all of the
that's a valid
guys, and
point.
like it's
That's
the
a valid point.
final one. And
So, okay, um, I have a question, but I want to phrase it in a particular way. For me, I think I said this when I talked about this movie the first time. I went into this expecting to think that it was overrated or to not like this, and I went on the Average Intelligence podcast and talked about it with Jake, and he shared kind of a similar expectation. He went, we were both kind of like I just kind of expected it to not be my thing, to be like, oh, this is a thing for girls, and this is novel, and this is fun. And for him, the moment he went from like it was soda pop, he was like the shoulders, he was like I was kind of into it, but the moment he was like I'm absolutely into this was Your Idol. That was the song where he was like I'm that was the moment in that movie where he like absolutely was like he gushed over that song the entire podcast because he was like it's
I
so smart, it's so clever, it's so well made.
I have a hard time with the names of the songs. I haven't watched it enough times to have it
Fair,
memorized.
fair enough.
Um,
Th-
but for me going into this, um,
Where's the moment for you that was leading up to me
well,
asking?
it was a
Where's the
little
moment
bit.
where you're like, oh, this is better than I was expecting?
It was a little bit different for me than it would have been for you or Jake because you and I are so similar that I really respect your opinion.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice of you. That's nice
Um,
of you to say. I
well,
appreciate
just
that.
we like a lot of the
That's oh,
same things.
that was very complimentary. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Um,
I've
so
yet to miss on a recommendation for you. I will say that.
yeah. So like when you're like Jordan, you like you'll really like this. I probably went into it more open-minded than you guys did.
Occasionally, there's a moment of like you don't like it initially, and then like months or like you're lukewarm to tepid on it, and then like weeks later I'm like, wait, I thought you didn't like this, and then you just shrug at me. That's happened a few times. And
Um,
then you did develop the like the mad I really like this, but sometimes there's like a
I
delayed reaction, but
I think
usually
part of what
I
made
don't
this
miss.
what I think part of what made this more um I can't think of the word easy for me to get into is it really reminded me of Over the Moon.
Interesting. See, to me,
The
musically, it
style
reminds me of a lot of it reminds me of Epic, like just musically.
I
It,
could kind of see why you'd say that.
where it's just kind of like this feels like Jordan's kind of music. It's just it was
Yeah, and I definitely think that it will probably end up on my
I
playlists.
there I when I was sitting there listening to you watch it, I was like, I'm picturing where it winds up on your playlist. It's gonna wind up in your playlist at least. But
Yeah.
like I,
Like I
it's
found
weird because
myself
like
tapping my toes a lot for
and
sure.
it's a soundtrack. It's a soundtrack that like I develop new love for it. The more I get away, like initially there was ones I didn't love. Like I did not like Soda Pop at first. I just didn't really. I was like, oh, it's too
Yeah. I think it does a really good job of walking the line of like I've never listened to K-pop before.
right. There's certain
Ever.
songs in there that are
Like
like
ever.
this is
And
K-pop. This is
yeah, but like it does a good job of like walking that line of like this is K-pop, but it's still manageable, for lack of a
I
better
think
word.
it's helped by the fact that like most of the music's mostly in English.
Yeah.
That really
Yeah,
helps.
that's a big
Like it
help.
doesn't get. Haven't you heard the song Bubble Pop? I'm pretty sure I've showed you the song Bubble Pop. Or
Maybe you have. I don't know.
if you remember it from Family Guy, Candy Cohog Marshmallow. Candy Cohog Marshmallow. No. Oh, you've heard. I guarantee you've heard K-pop enough to know like.
Sure, but I'm just saying like I'm not into it. I don't listen to it.
No, me neither. No. But I'm aware of what it sounds like.
Um,
Like to me,
but
the Saja Boys, the guy boy band, their song skews a bit more. Their music skews a bit more traditionally K-pop, whereas
mm,
the Huntrix to me is, and maybe it's because maybe it's I'd love to talk to the people who made that movie, like EJ, the girl who wrote the music, because I'd be curious to know like Huntrix, in my opinion, skews a bit more pop rock in terms of its sound, in terms of their sound, and I'm wondering
yeah.
if that's because the Hunter group has been a K-pop group for a while, and they're trying to evolve the sound. And the Saja Boys are new, so that's why they're a bit more traditional in their K-pop sound.
Yeah, I could see that. I could also just see the difference story-wise of the Huntrix group um in order for their magic blocky the demon spell thing to work,
This would be
they
the
have to
Han
they
Moon, Jordan. The Han Moon.
whatever. They have to try to appeal to as many people as possible, which could be is reflected in their music
In their
type,
musical type,
where
yeah, that might be fair. That's a fair point.
whereas the Soja Boys plot wise, they don't need to appeal to a whole bunch of people, just enough to break through
Yeah,
the
that's valid.
thing.
That's a valid theory. Yeah, that's a valid theory. That's a good point. Um,
And so for them, it could be the internal logic of the movie is they want to establish themselves quick and fast, and the easiest way to do that is be more
now,
niche.
here cometh maybe the controversial opinion. I don't think Golden's the best song.
I don't remember the songs well enough to.
Golden is that's the main one. That's the one that's gonna seal the Han Moon.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't remember it well enough.
Oh, in my opinion, the best song in that movie is "What It Sounds Like." That's the song they sing when they make up.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
That to me, in my opinion, that's the best song in the movie. Either that or the evil your idol, which is the evil Soulja Boy song.
yeah. Yeah, I like that one too.
That one's really good.
I mean, it's
Um,
one of those things where like I don't. When it comes to musicals, a lot of the time, until I've listened to it a few dozen times,
you haven't
I don't have a
you
favorite.
don't have a favorite yet. Hard feelings, just raw reaction. What was your favorite?
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is Golden. The second one that comes to mind
Oh,
is when main girl and main bad
oh,
guy
the duet.
are, yeah, the
That's
duet.
the song where I was like, that's the one that reminds me of Epic. That's the one where I'm like,
That would make sense why I like that one
yeah.
then.
To me, my that has like I'm weird like that. Slight touch of autism, but like certain vocal sounds tweak my inner ear, and
I'm the same way.
the bit in that song where it does the rising where it's like this na 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 na,
Mm.
that tweaks my inner ear so bad. I don't know, it gives me the chills every time. I don't know why. It's my favorite part of that song. I love it. Also, fit check from my napalm era is like an objectively good line. It's one of my favorite lines in one of those songs. Um, but yeah, I
I can see why a lot of people liked it, is what I'll say.
yeah. I guess. So your favorite. So do you think of the songs in that movie? What do you think is the best? Again, raw reaction right now. Do you,
I can't give you that answer. I don't remember them all well enough to
no,
kind of, no.
no. Fair enough. Fair enough. So
Not after watching it one time and not listening to the music since.
I guess this is the end. This is the end. This is where we're gonna do final predictions, Jordan. And we're gonna try to stretch this a little long so I can turn this into a YouTube video. Um, Jordan, are we pushing the peppers to next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pushing the peppers to next week. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I can get behind that. That means that I can eat the ice cream in the fridge and then get more next week. Um, I could also
I,
do.
I, I just, I don't have anything in my stomach other than like one monster, and it feels like a inherently poor decision to do that currently.
It's true. Yeah, we should maybe consider getting bread
Yeah.
for next week.
I might get you to drive me
Um,
somewhere.
okay. Um,
Not far enough that you need to adjust the mirrors, but
okay. Good to know.
I just, I just, yeah, we'll talk after.
Talk after. That's all good. So with that, let's make some Oscar predictions, Jordan. I've don't worry. I've got
K-pop
the.
Demon Hunter.
Oh yeah, so we'll do that. We'll do anime. We're not gonna do this in any particular order. We'll do the best animated first. It's K-pop Demon Hunters. Anyone who doesn't think it's K-pop Demon, I saw Doug Walker put out his Oscar predictions, and he had Zootopia down. He's wrong. It's he's wrong.
I just don't think that it will. I think the only one that gives K-pop a challenge is Zootopia 2, but I don't think it'll win.
They're currently doing the red carpet at the actual Oscars. Um,
That's my opinion.
I just I don't not yeah I just don't see Elio only stands of the
Oh,
two.
to me, Elio's not even in the running.
Yeah, doesn't have the money. I think Disney's definitely going to put it towards Zootopia, and I just don't think Zootopia. Look, do we want to go the political route of it's not popular enough? Zootopia 2 is not popular enough. Is it a better movie? No, it's not a better movie either. It's all right. It's not exceptional. It's I don't even think it's as good as the first one. Um, I really don't. So
Yeah.
I just don't I don't. It's gonna be K-pop Demon Hunters. K-pop Demon Hunters
I would
is
be very surprised if
everywhere.
it wasn't K-pop.
They're also going to win Best Song because going up against them
Probably.
for Best Song. Hold on, let me see if I can find Best Song here while we quickly. Uh, what do we got? We got Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. Okay, but we do have one song from Sinners. I Lied to You from Sinners. We've got a song from Train Dreams. Yeah, none of these you know. So the only one that has any popularity is again it's Golden, and it's gonna win. It's gonna win best. It's gonna win best animated. Easy hands down.
Yeah,
Easy.
like I could maybe see it being a thing where K-pop wins the golden, the best music or whatever, and then they give it to Zootopia so that it
Right.
doesn't win too.
Right.
But I don't. Yeah, I'd be surprised if K-pop doesn't win.
Right. It's definitely gonna win. Like I think you're
The only
naive to
again,
assume that
the
it's not gonna
only
win
reason why anyone thinks that Zootopia might win is because it's Disney.
because it's purely because. But it being Disney doesn't mean anything anymore because there's been previous years
Well, it
where
does to
like
it does to idiots who don't know, like idiots like us who don't know anything about the Oscar.
sure, but like in terms of the Academy, Disney doesn't like.
Right,
DreamWorks has been crushing lately as well, so it's not
that's
like
why I'm saying
yeah,
K-pop will win.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely, K-pop Demon Hunters will win. There's
But
not
the
even
only one which might give it give it a shake up is Zootopia.
so
But it won't. but
No,
the only one that
no.
might is that,
So we
but
might
it
as well
won't.
start at the top with the actor in a leading role. And Jordan, based purely on what I've told you today, the nominees are Timothy Chalamet from Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio from One Battle After Another. I did not watch Blue Moon, but Ethan Hawke from Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan from Sinners, and Wagner Mora. I apologize for mispronunciations. Um, for The Secret Agent. Now, Jordan, based on what I've told you today, who do you think should win?
Um,
Or even if you don't know who should, who do you think will win?
I think Michael B. Jordan will win.
Yeah, same.
Um,
Wow,
I think,
that's very. What makes you okay? I want to know your reasoning. I want to know your reasoning, but continue. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
um, well, it's just he's playing two of the same character, and it feels like that might propel him forward.
And that's just it's just a good performance. My thing is
I can't, I can't speak to
but
that.
who do you think should based on purely on what I've told you?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Interesting. That's an interesting choice. Interesting choice. Okay, that's fair. I could be convinced.
I just think, I think he's a better actor
His personal politics, whatever.
generally.
That's completely fair. I think that's fair. I don't know that you would have liked that movie. I really don't. But you might have. You might have. It might just have been your kind of just specifically a thing that you might maybe have liked.
Just weird enough.
Yeah. Like I like Leonardo DiCaprio. He does a lot of heavy lifting for me a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. I like
also,
it for me personally, like in terms of actors, of the options there, he's just the one that I like the most.
Also, it turns out I was mistaken. Brad Pitt wasn't nominated for best or leading actor. I thought he was. Um, we have for me. I'm real split. I think I want Timothy Chalamet because I really liked him as Marty Supreme. The final scene in that movie of him table tennising the guy is really good. That movie's fun enough that I would recommend it to you in like a Wolf of Wall Street kind of way. And it's not like
Interesting.
it's not overly long. It starts to push it, but it's not overly long. And this is performance I like his performance in it. Yeah, like I say, it was giving me like a Goodfellas, definitely giving me like Scorsese vibes, but it wasn't Scorsese, but it was giving me those kind of vibes. Actor in a supporting role, we have Benicio del Toro in One Battle After Another. He is Leonardo DiCaprio's sidekick. We have Jacob Elordi as Frankenstein. We have Delroy Lindo for Sinners. We have Sean Penn, One Battle After Another, and then we have Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value.
I have no idea. None of those names mean anything to me.
Um, well, which of the movies? So One Ballad of Another, Sentimental Value, or One Ballad of Another, or Frankenstein or Sinners. I've talked about all these movies. Which one of those movies do you recall sounding the most interesting to you?
I mean, I always enjoy a good fresh take on Frankenstein, so I guess we'll go with that.
I would like him to win for Frankenstein. That's who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. The makeup is great. The performance, he's massive. The performance is massive. It's really good. Honestly, it's not I really enjoyed it. Is it the best adaptation of Frankenstein? No, but it's one of the better ones, and I definitely think it's a good performance. Now, I don't know. I don't remember who Delroy Lindo plays in Sinners, so that kind of eliminates it for me on that. Sean Penn he's the guy I mentioned he's the army guy. He is a scummy piece of shit in that. He is kind of, I can't think of a good comparison, but he is very much like a Trump era politician kind of guy. Oh, I guess his cadence reminded me a lot of Alex Jones. That's what his vocal pattern
Oh,
kind of.
okay.
Yeah, that kind of gravelly kind of affect. And I'm like, oh, this is the guy who was in I Am Sam. It's enough of a transformative performance that I was like, I appreciate this. Oh, the thing I meant to mention about shit. I meant to mention this about um sentimental value about Stellan Skarsgård. I'll say it here real quickly, which is that the most interesting part for me about sentimental value is there's a point where they're looking for funding for Stellan Skarsgård's movie, and they wind up hooking up with Netflix, and uh, they're like, oh, is this gonna go to theaters? And Stellan Skarsgård is like, well, yeah, obviously it's gonna go to theaters. And one of the executives bursts in, and he's like, oh no, we're still negotiating whether or not it's going to go to theaters. And Stellan Skarsgård acts as though his movie going to Netflix is this great indignity. And I found that fascinating because I was like, that felt real. Like that felt like a real thing that a director like, oh, I get that. I understand why you would feel that as an indignity, and it shows how they don't respect Netflix or see Netflix movies as real movies. Like that's not a real movie if it doesn't go to movie theaters. I thought that perspective was interesting because I'm like, oh,
One would argue from a Oscar point of view, it's not.
it's not, right? And so it's just interesting that here's this Oscar-nominated movie that is taking a dig at being funded by Netflix, while a Netflix movie is about to win, and it's won several Netflix movies have won Oscars, and one is probably going to win this year because K-pop Demon Hunters is a Netflix movie. So it's they absolutely are. There's a great, I think it's Adam Ruins Everything episode about how Netflix became like a real studio, which is really fascinating. Anyway, I think Sean Penn probably will win. I do. I don't think the Sinners guy's gonna win this. I'm rooting for Jacob Elordi. He's who if I were making an Oscar pool, he'd be in my Oscar pool.
Okay. That it?
For best actress in a leading role, I'm gonna skip all the names. The ones that that I did were this was this is Emma Stone for Begonia. Renate, I'm not gonna say her name, but the girl from Sentimental Value, I think she's
Emma Stone, because begonia is a funny word.
right. I don't know. Here's the thing: in terms of the actual performance, I think Emma Stone is good. I think she's won an Oscar for something else. I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna waste your time looking it up, but. I thought the performance was good, but in terms of being like, what is the Academy? And I would, if I had my ways, I'd be like Emma Stone because I'm a fan of hers and I like her work. I like that movie. That movie was easily my favorite movie of the week. But I think Jessie Buckley's gonna win it for Hamnet, just because Hamnet, it's ticking those Academy boxes. It's the exact kind of performance the Academy likes. It's the exact kind of high emotion that
Oscar bait.
yeah, exactly. And I think it's gonna work. I think the performance is good, but I just think it's just like, at its core a by the numbers biopic movie. I think I compared it to one of yours. I compared it to Walk the Line. It reminded me a lot of like Shakespeare Walk the Line. Like except for instead of at the end of Walk the Line, he's singing. What does he sing? What song does he sing at the end of that movie? Folsom City Blues or whatever. He's doing Hamlet. Like that's what was happening in that movie. This is where I was like, yeah. So Elle Fanning and the other daughter both get nominated for Sentimental Value, and I'm like, Elle Fanning is okay.
Was there not any other ones they could have gone in?
That's what I'm saying, right? Like one of them. Surely they would have been supportive of each other. I don't think either of them is better than the other.
Or you put them both in and they get one. They share it.
And they share it, exactly. Again, I don't remember who. There's a girl from Sinners. I can't remember who she's playing. I didn't see Weapons. Oh yeah, Weapons is a horror movie. So that's one of the first times in like years that a horror movie has been nominated for a person from a horror movie has been nominated, so that's kind of interesting. But Tiana Taylor, I think she's the main girl from the One Battle. I quite liked her. I'm kind of leaning towards the girl from One Battle After Another. That's where my guess is. And then we did Best Animated. The French films never stand a chance. We're gonna skip.
Be really funny. Be really funny if one of them won.
It really would be funny, but they don't stand a chance. We didn't watch the Best Animated Short Film, so I'm not going to make a prediction on that.
No, those aren't real movies. Who watches those?
Casting, I don't know how to judge casting. I don't know how you judge like casting in terms of an Oscar, so I just don't feel confident making a guess on that. But if I had to, I'd probably go. No, see, I can't. I have to deny it to Marty Supreme, because they cast Kevin Leary. What are you doing? That's bad casting. You should feel ashamed. Maybe Sinners. I would probably. That's one of those ones I think maybe Sinners is probably going to get. Cinematography. I could see Marty Supreme getting cinematography because it's that high frenetic, quick cut, Uncut Gems. People loved Uncut Gems, but it's probably gonna be Sinners. Same thing with costume designs. Probably gonna be Sinners. Directing. Uh, I don't. I see. That's where I'm like. See, okay. Based upon what I told you, Hamnet for best directing.
Mm,
Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, or Sinners.
probably Hamnet.
Interesting.
Feels Oscar baity.
Interesting. I yeah. I think it's
It
probably.
just feels like, from what I remember, the most Oscar baity of the ones you've
I
mentioned.
feel like it probably should be Ryan Coogler for Sinners, but I feel like
Ah, but
Josh.
that's not what you asked.
But I feel like Josh Safdie is going to get it from Marty Supreme, and the conversation is going to be that Ryan Coogler got robbed. That's my
I
prediction.
could I could see that.
And they're going to be like, oh, another thing taken from a black man. Like that's the prediction. I think personally,
No comment.
I think Sinners is going to win Best Picture, but I don't think Ryan Coogler is going to win Best Director. That's my prediction right now. We didn't watch any of the documentaries. I never do. Same thing with
Morgan
documentary short
Freeman.
film.
If Morgan
Um,
Freeman is in there, that's my choice. Morgan Freeman.
Editing, best editing. Again, I don't know how to judge film editing. I really don't. I'm not the guy to judge that. Um, I'm gonna say
I mean,
Sinners.
I know how to judge it, but I shouldn't be judging
No,
it.
I'm not the guy. I would say probably against Sinners because that movie's fast in a way that's not boring, but not also
Uh,
too fast. I would also
it's really easy to be a judgmental prick. That doesn't mean that I'm correct with my
right
judgments.
exactly. I think the only other one maybe F1. For I didn't watch the foreign films, although I feel like I did. Same thing with live action short films. Hair and makeup. Oh, we got Frankenstein, we got Kokuyo, we got Sinners, we got Smashing Machine, and we got The Ugly Stepsister. I kind of want to go Smashing Machine. Again, I'm pretty confident it's gonna be Sinners, but I want to say Smashing Machine because they put The Rock in a wig and they made him look like another guy pretty convincingly. So, best original score. I'm not a score guy, so I don't really feel confident. But again, probably Sinners. We already talked about original song. It's definitely going to be Golden. Excellent. The big one. So Jordan, based on what I told you, and based on what you know of the politics of the Academy of the Motion Picture Arts, and you know how Oscars work, and you know how popularity works, and you understand the sausage. We have
Putting a lot of pressure on me.
we've got Begonia, we've got F1, we've got Frankenstein, we've got Hamnet, we've got Marty Supreme, we've got One Battle After Another, and we've got The Secret Agent, we've got Sentimental Value, we've got Sinners, and we've got Train Dreams. Now, based entirely on what I've told you about those movies, because I've done every single one of these movies on the show, what do you want to win, and what do you think will win?
Um,
Keeping in mind that whatever you pick will go on your list.
Give me the options again.
So we got Hamnet, we've got Marty Supreme, we've got One Battle After Another, we've got The Secret Agent, we've got Sentimental Value, we've got Sinners, and we've got Train Dreams. And I talked about all of these movies on the show. One of which I didn't talk about today, but I talked about it previously.
I feel like the one which probably will win is either Sinners or what was that other one? Say them again.
Hamnet,
I'm sorry. I'm really not. I'm tired.
Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another.
I think the one that will win is Sinners. I think the one that should win is probably Hamnet.
Interesting. That's an interesting choice.
Um,
That I'm surprised you didn't say
uh,
Begonia.
I mean, you're asking me to judge it not based on what I think, but what the Oscars are about. And the Oscars are about being pretentious and up your own ass.
True. But so if you could, okay, then I'll do another one. If you could pick one, which one would you pick?
Begonia, because I think that name is hilarious.
And also just it was as my of them. I think not to say it was the best, but it was definitely my favorite.
I mean,
I quite liked.
I like Emma Stone,
Like if you were
so
to give me a ranked choice, it would probably be Begonia, Marty Supreme, and no Begonia, Sinners, and then Marty Supreme. But I also quite like Sinners. Um, so okay. I mean, maybe I. Well, no, we'll do an episode. We're gonna do a horror movie episode or a vampire episode, so you can do Sinners when we talk about vampires because I want to do a vampires episode. So that'll give you an opportunity to talk about Sinners. Because I'd like you to watch Sinners. I'd like to know. I'd like to know what you think about it.
I understand.
And then yeah, maybe we'll add Begonia to your list. Maybe we'll add The Secret Agent because that movie was really boring and I want you to suffer. I doubt it. I doubt it. That's it.
Not fair. Any of the ones I give you would be good.
I know. I know they would be. Or I've seen them already.
And they're good.
And they're good. You know what, Jordan? You're right. I could watch K-pop Demon Hunters for a third time. Why not? Why not watch that movie for a third time?
No, you're gonna watch the one with Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, The Fisher King. I'm gonna watch the.
Yeah.
Well, I want to do a pick an actor, and then I'll pick an actor, and then it's gonna be actors we've done, and then I'm gonna do Robin Williams, and then I'm gonna watch The Fisher King for that. But anyway, that leads us to next week, which is our season 5 finale. Finally, we're at the end of season 5. We've done this for 5 seasons, everybody, and we're gonna do our most controversial episode ever.
Dun dun dun.
Ever. And that's we're going to do Bible stories. Stuff based on Bible stories or based on the Bible or based on things from the Bible. Because I want to watch a movie. I want to watch stuff that involves angels.
Jesus.
And we're going to say our hot takes about religion. This is the episode.
Within reason.
Nah, for me there'll be no reason.
All right, fair enough. Then there will be no reason for me either.
You'll hear my.
I will pull no punches, and I will get us.
No. I feel like you have to pull some punches. Well, how about we'll see how many punches I pull, and then you feel my vibe.
That's next week's problem.
Yeah, that's fair. But that's gonna happen next week because I need to watch Jesus Christ Superstar for Easter. I'm excited to watch that one. And tomorrow, speaking of watching stuff just to give you guys a sneak preview of what's coming next week. Tomorrow I'm gonna be watching 2 hours of the Passion of the Christ in Aramaic. So that's
because you're a masochist.
I am an absolute masochist. That's a whole thing.
I do Minecraft Mondays on Twitch.
Jordan, where are you? Say that again.
I'm on Twitch. I do Minecraft Monday on Twitch. That's Gore187,
right.
And I'm here.
I'm also here.
I'm toughing it out here sometimes.
You can find me on TikTok. You can find the show on TikTok. It's the Spur of the Moment P on TikTok. You can email the show. It's Justin's Business at gmail.com if you want to sponsor the show or be on the show. If you're like, hey, I just want to chat. We'll chat.
Chit chat.
We'll chit chat. Leave comments. Tell us. We want to read your comments. We like comments. Comments are engagement, and we like engagement. So leave your comments. We like comments.
Let the hate flow through you.
Come back next week at about probably around this time. We're gonna eat hot peppers. I'm gonna eat hot peppers, and Jordan's gonna eat hot sauce to celebrate that we're at 400. And also, I know I promised at 500 I eat a habanero pepper. Change of plans. I'm gonna eat the habanero pepper when we can get when we hit the correct amount of watch hours and we can monetize. That'll be our monetization celebration. It will be our first follower reward. Will be the video of me eating the habanero. That's in the future. Anyway, hit the box on the left if you want to see last week's episode, which was the Razzies. This is part 2 of a 2-part special. That was the Razzies. This is the Oscars. If you want to see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, click the box on the right. Those have popped up at some point here. Hit subscribe.
Think of the animals.
Think of the animals. Hit subscribe if you haven't. We put new videos out 7 days a week. That's every single day there's a new thing.
1, 2, 3,
There's a new
4,
video
5, 6, 7.
And then Sunday there's a podcast. And then if you miss podcast, there's videos all throughout the week that help you see from the podcast that happens. There's shorts every single day. There's content coming out the wazoo. So you can subscribe.
I don't know where the wazoo is, but there's content coming
It's
out of
coming
it.
straight out of it. That's it. That's the end. Bye everybody. We'll see you next week with Bible shit. We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.